So today, I'll be talking about tech-driven development in the face of AI. I know that some OGs in the room, they're already used to AI. Why some that are coming up, they are scared of AI. Outside there, I spoke to some few persons, and I've been to an event like this where we actually centered on AI. Right? Everybody was scared that day. We are not debating about AI. But all I have to say today is I come with good news, right? Can I hear some applause, please? AI is not here to take our job, like people say. So for people that are still starting their career, you are need to be safe. For people that are starting their career, you are still safe. So with that in mind, we are introducing this 10 development in the face of AI. Like I said, AI is not taking your job. AI is actually your companion, right? So let's look at what 10 development means before we talk about how AI can actually help us in writing our test cases. So when we talk about test-driven development, right, for the OGs in the room, I will always mention your name. Then for the newbies, we'll start with you guys. So test-driven development, when we say test-driven development, we mean writing your test cases. The code we write, the code we ship to production. Before we start writing the code, the aim is for you to write your test cases first. Not like myself, that is a very lazy developer that would like to write my code first and bend my code to pass the test cases. No, the situation is you write your test case first. After writing your test case, then you write your code to pass the test case. That is its full definition or the simple meaning of test-driven development. So test-driven development is actually urging us write your test case first, write your code, then refactor your code if you have any issue with your code passing the test case. So it's a software development approach where you write a piece of functionality before you write the code, like I mentioned before. In a simpler terms, it's deciding how something should behave. Write the test case for that behavior and creating the code to make the test pass. So that is just what test-driven development is. Write your code first. Write your test case first, sorry, before you write your code. So we are going to look at what AI is. Because some people might think that AI is one old man sitting one place, writing code, or one machine sitting one place, trying to fight with human beings or take our job. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence refers to machines and systems that mimic human intelligence. So what we talk about here is basically code. There are codes back then before AI, right, that we write, we call them automation. So automation will write it to take away the manual processes or repetition that human does when we are coding, right? That's automation. But when we talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about codes that we need human intelligence. So the way you sit and laugh, right? We can write code that can look at you, understand the way you sit as a person, then take whatever action you normally do. The code will learn from whatever you do, then and start repeating exactly what you are doing. So that is what we mean when we talk about artificial intelligence. It's nothing but code written by other software engineers that learn human actions, that try to reason as human beings. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, people begin to panic like code is very intelligent now, that code can do whatever human beings can do. No. We talk about artificial intelligence, we are referring to machines that learn human behavior. They are not at the reasoning capacity that we think that they are. So artificial intelligence, they are code that makes prediction. So at the basic core of AI, right, is all about making predictions. So the models that we have now, the likes of ChatGPT and Gemini, right, what their rate of accuracy in terms of making prediction is still at 78%. It's not even up to 90%. And when we talk about this code making prediction, before we can trust them with whatever we have to make sure that they are at least 99% before we can trust them with whatever they have. So that is why I say that I came with good news. That these machines that we see, right, they are not at that level that we think that they are. So we just have to calm down, learn how to work with these machines, right? So back then when I started learning programming, people were talking about local solution, right? WordPress and the rest. They were making mockery of me. Some of my friends, they told me that in the next 2 years, right, that people are no longer going to write piece of code by themselves. Rather, they will go and click a button and they will have a website. I'm not disputing that part, but the fact still remains that even the AI machine or the systems or whatever they want to do, at the end of the day, the software engineers are still there to maintain that code because AI systems have a familiar problem that we all know. We call it hallucination. Hallucination is a situation where AI begins to speak rubbish. Let me just use that word. They are intelligent, that they can make mistakes, they can speak rubbish. So we still need software engineers there, right, to know when AI is misbehaving, to put them in order. So, and that is why we cannot take away the human part of software development for now. We still need AI. And that is why I'm telling us that we should incorporate AI in writing our test cases, right? So let's look at the role of AI on intent-driven development. So number one, the role of AI can understand your code and generate meaningful test cases. The students I normally take on my classes in Malaysia, right? What I normally do, I want to emphasize on something. What I normally do, we can have a class, right, where we write our smart contract. I teach them blockchain. We write our smart contract. Once we are done writing our smart contract, because I'm familiar with writing test cases and I've been writing it for a very long time, I don't want to waste my time. So what I do, I will take my smart contract, dump it to one of the AI models. It generates all the test cases I need, right? Then I'll run the code. I see that everything passes. Then I'll pass the knowledge down to them. So what I do for beginners, right? I don't encourage you to be using AI like the way people that have been coding are using it. So because you are still starting your career, you still need to learn that particular stack, right? So for you to learn that particular stack, you need to do it yourself. So what we encourage is you do 50% for people that are still starting their career. You do 50% using AI, then the other percent you do it yourself. So AI can actually understand your code and generate these test cases. Then it can suggest changes to your code to make it pass the test case. Sometimes there are test cases that we will have, but we find it difficult, and that is what has been a very problematic for senior engineers writing test cases. Because most times you write the test cases, but for you to get the code to pass the test cases, sometimes it's difficult. So we need the assistance of AI. This is where AI can come into to make suggestions for your test case to pass. Then you can also highlight areas of the code where bugs are most likely to occur. So sometimes if you look at our code, we feel like our codes are perfect. Some people here can relate to what I'm saying. I have a code base. I actually started that code base in 2020, right? Earlier this year, I went back to that code base because we have a feature to add to that code base. I went back to that code base. I feel like I need to rewrite this whole code base because I then see when I wrote the code, it was perfectly fine for me, awesome. But I then see some loopholes, some security details that we need to update. This is an area AI can actually help you because AI can look at your code and think about the future and add it to the present code that you have. So it can also identify the most relevant text based on the recent changes in the code. So as you are trying to adjust your project or whatever you are working on, you can, when you are adjusting these projects, you can also pass it to the AI system for them to actually generate the new changes that you need. So these are roles that AI can play in. These are roles that AI can play in our system. So let's look at 3D workflow with AI support. So here, I was supposed to show us in demo, right? But I learned that we don't have enough time because of speakers we have. So I won't be showing you the demo, but if you are interested later, I will just give you a brief of how we can do that. So the workflow is us now learning how to work with AI to develop our test cases. So I'll be using a smart contract as an example. If I have a product I want to work on, let's assume that product is a manufacturer chain product, and I want to develop it with blockchain. The first thing I will do, right? I mentioned before that test-driven development, you write your test first, right? But when you want the AI to work with you, if you have when you want the AI to work with you, right? If you have if you have the project that you want to work on, right? You can bring that user story, put it inside one of the AI models. Using ChatGPT, for example. ChatGPT, the advanced model, if you are using a paid subscription, has a place you can upload your user story. So once you upload your user story, it will generate the smart contract for you. Look at the smart contract, make sure that everything is fine with your user story. Once it's fine, tell the AI to generate your test cases, starting with unit testing. So after getting your unit testing, you can put in your integration test. After your integration test, every other test that you want to do, make sure that you specify the stack that you are working with. If you are using make sure that you specify to the AI agents that you are using pattern. It will generate this system for you. So we look at limitations and ethical consideration because when we talk about AI system, we cannot omit this particular point. We also have to ensure that AI system respects privacy. The other time, Google and OpenAI, they are having issues because of privacy. The AI is being trained on public data. So if you are putting your company information on AI system, make sure that the information you are putting there are information that are meant to be public. When I mean public, if you sign NDA before you understand what I mean, you have to put the public information there. Don't put any information from your company that will put your company into jeopardy because you are using AI system. Also, I've mentioned that AI systems can hallucinate, right? So we should be cautious of AI model because sometimes when they hallucinate, they might overlook some security details. So these are the things that I look at when you are using AI system. You have to make sure that they are giving you the right answer. That is why the human part is there. That is why I'm assuring us that AI is here to assist us. It's not here to take away our job. So key takeaways, right, from this brief discussion with us is that AI model can streamline our TDD for web development, improving speed, quality, and security. So it can also include faster text generation, enhance security, and ongoing AI learning. So I've not talked about the learning part of it. So I'll give us an example with what I said during last month. Last month, I paid for ChatGPT, the advanced version. What I do, I go to Binance. I snap the Binance interface because I used to do trading before, right? So what I do of me trying to use my time to do the analysis myself, I snap the interface of Binance, I upload it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will analyze it and give me 100% accuracy where the price will fall and where the price will rise Therefore, limiting. No, it's not part of my lecture today. I'm just giving it as a bonus because I'm in a way. So that is how you can use AI. Then the last part of our key takeaway that I also like to mention is that we developers, very important. We developers, we should use AI responsibly. Is our domain knowledge. When I say responsibly, I know that if you live here, we are very proud to be developers. Scammers are going to meet you to develop a very dangerous solution to them. Please say no to them. Use AI responsibly. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm talking about leveraging Firebase for robust iOS app development. But I'm not focusing on just iOS, I'm focusing on mobile, Java, and web. So, what is Firebase? So Firebase was created by Google to help developers to scale. Web developer, if you're a web developer, if you're a mobile developer, either iOS, Android, or you have practicing with Flutter. Firebase uses this platform to scale because it's more like a helper in terms of if you are starting your career. Just like for any student right here, and you want to start your tech career, I think mobile is like in one of the street ways to start your tech career. In the sense that you can just create a mobile application for them to Firebase and actually use the framework there and the APIs. So, like I said, it's a backend service. Like you don't need to create your own backend in terms of if you want to scale, you're not the beginner, you just want to start. You're starting your tech career. Often as like a founder, you don't have any backend now, you just have mobile engineers for you to scale. You can start up with Firebase, you can scale to a more bigger platform or create your own database. So Firebase gives you everything. It gives you the written database, it gives you platform, it gives you analytics, it gives you graphics. Now, in today's world, we actually focus on data-driven decisions. So, if you have a platform that can create analytics for you based on your data, or number of users, or number of registered users on that particular machine or your particular platform or your particular app, that means you can actually scale it. Because you can actually bring your application and show them that, okay, 100 persons are asking for my application right now. Imagine you're looking for a co-founder, just for example, and you want to issue a co-founder for your particular platform. I got that you can actually start off with just a mobile developer, Firebase. They use the analytics to actually teach you over okay, these are certain numbers of people on my platform. You have to give you that advantage outside development. Now, in Firebase, anything that goes on the iOS also goes on the web. It also goes on the mobile. So it also gives you authentication. It gives you API authentication, just like Facebook authentication, Google authentication, email authentication. And everything is registered on that platform. You don't need to create any API, you don't need to create any data, it's just there for you to just consume. So it's really a interesting platform to use. It also helps with cloud messaging, like real-time database, in case you want to build a chat app or something like that. Maybe you want to build an app that normally tells the students in your class that the lecturer is around or something like that, just like a crazy idea. You can actually scale it with Firebase from there. Then it also there's also a class storage where you can store videos, pictures, and the rest of it. Like you can create a chat app, or you are creating anything entirely. Like for example, now if you want to create this new phase of platform that just came into the niche of Telegram, you can create that application with Android. They use the backend as Firebase. You understand? Just to get the first 1,000 members and easily teach that to somebody and save the application or something like that. Because with Firebase, that actually is 1,000 users before you can start paying. So, also, you also have, like I said, you also have analytics. You can
can get real-time analytics, real-time data, the number of users on your particular platform at that particular moment. Number of users using your application at a particular location. The number of users using a particular device. So you can actually tell if you where your users are coming from. Just for example, recently started being over like $20 million money. He actually knew that we were taking that $20 million for fire because of the fact that if you make an inner fortune, if I say related to your application, you make an inner fortune, you can easily tell because everything is recorded there. The inner portion is revenue generated in the application on that platform. So it's an easy pitch to anybody. In case you want to sell your application like Facebook or something like that. There's also crash tests. Recently, iOS upgraded their version from iOS 18. iOS 18 was giving a lot of crash. Like if you are using an ordinary application, you'll just be telling yourself so many crashes. But the way that the developers in the iOS and mobile developers were able to track where that crash was coming from because of the crashing. Like one of the software I was working on, we were able to track because of the crashing because it gave us the exact place where that application was crashing. And we resolved it and cost no downtime and no lost time for the company. So it's really, really important. So like I said, I'll just bring you to the why the idea for iOS development is because of the scalability involved. And you can easily develop your MVP with it because why is implemented in an SDK for mobile developer or web developer or any other web developer, mobile developer or any other developer. So now we're looking at how Firebase works. I will show you Firebase platform. So this is an example of engine foundation I'm working with. The engine foundation is that. So things are getting content to drive more users here. But then with the content that already that content on that ability attract more users to the application. So that is so, yeah, if you very much keep in mind that that exists where I want to be. Maybe you want to speak for 1,000 users. Actually, start with like first, we can say, right now, security for your data, the thing that we can scale to fire. And also, optimize why you optimize the system. And also, you can just say, you can decide because of the non-technical system, like monitoring and activities for your own data. So, in conclusion, Firebase is an incredibly powerful platform for not of mobile developer, whether you are doing simple apps, that is like everything things like that. But all back and there is that Google I encourage you to develop with your higher lot of mobile. Now, all the say it was like Steve Jobs, but Mr. Essay, he said that can you explain why Steve Jobs said stay on the I don't have a question, but yeah. This was the two things that Steve Jobs stay on this thing. What does it mean by this?
I think he was hungry when he made his statement. Okay, to be serious though, like I said earlier, when I said when you just have inspiration, it's never clear cut. Right? Remember I said that. Right? So when you have some kind of ideas, it will never really make sense at first. It will look stupid. And I think you have to be bold enough to stay stupid in front of people until it starts to make sense. It's not like that. If you're not happy, you come up with this. I nearly died and I don't understand. Thank you. Yeah, can I get it? Can I try?
Yeah, you try.
Thank you.
You don't have to. So tell me if you that you not good. Because the reason why I do this is because at the time, it started up when I was doing I went to help with staff. So I kind of coming to staff. We just couple of that years, 1970, and that was the year. And that maybe it's not to find us. Then they are doing that trying to if you don't have to start there, everything really hard. So I'm not really this far, like that. So that is the I'm not going to try, right? Okay, then what time? I pray up.
Good day, everyone. My name is Cynthia, I'm former Augustine AC. I think that's the first time I'm introducing myself like that. And I'm really happy to be here with you all today. So, I'd like to start with a little story. You know, back when we were kids, our parents liked all these serious professions. Some of us wanted to be doctors, lawyers, engineers. Please. Anyone here wanted to be a doctor, please? Even if I don't know anyone, I know Joy wanted to be a doctor. I know Joy wanted to be a doctor. Even my sister, she also wanted to be a doctor. But interesting fact that I never liked to be a doctor. So I never thought of it. So I wanted to be a scientist. And don't ask me why. I don't know. My dad used to watch this Discovery Channel back in the day, and I just liked how it was really cool to watch people figure out things through space and all that. So that was why I wanted to be a scientist. But after a while, then when we went to school, but one thing has been consistent though, I've always loved computers. I've always loved computers. So, and from primary school to secondary school down to uni, when we were introduced to web development. Most of us started from web development, right? So, but we never really thought about mobile development. So, because of that, I had this curiosity. How is it that this large screen could fit into a very tiny mobile screen? So, because of that curiosity, I had to learn Swift. This one was the Swift programming language. So, yeah, the Swift is used to write native iOS applications. So, after Swift, I had to further to Flutter. And Flutter is for both platforms. Flutter allows developers to build an application that can run on several platforms. Flutter is a UI development kit created by Google. Google came up with Flutter, and what I like about Flutter is that just a single code base, you can deploy your app on iOS platform, you can deploy the same code base on Android, web, and start the same application like your desktop. So there's no stress when you're using Flutter, no stress at all. So it allows us to work smart and not hard. You're not juggling between two codes, and that's why lots of Nigerian companies are just running towards that, because they get to pay only one developer. They pay the developer to do all the work for them. So you're just writing and maintaining one single code base, but you can deploy on iOS, you can deploy on Android, and even web too. So these are the Flutter's cross-platform advantage, the rapid development. So Flutter has this feature called the hot build. So you don't take too much, doesn't take time when you're actually building a Flutter application. So when you just hit the reload your app, so it's faster to use the Flutter, and it's also easier. So another thing is the single code base. That's like a very big advantage when you're writing Flutter. So you're only maintaining one single code base. Like that's a very powerful feature there. That's something that I find very interesting. So when you're writing just one single code base, because writing a set of code, but you can just deploy that same code on different platforms. That's a very important thing. So I'm making performance. So even though you are writing this code on the Flutter language, right? The Flutter, when you are trying to when the compiler compiles it compiles through the native machine code of each of those languages. So it is the computer understands that particular code as script when it compiles it. You understand it as Kotlin or an Android language when you're compiling just like, and so on. Okay, I'm going to be talking about building in public next. Right? So when you're going into like mobile development or any platform you decided to build on, you want to build your like a portfolio or an application, but you're still new and nobody knows you yet, right? Just like our aspirant developers here. So no one knows what you do here. So what you do is you start building a problem. You start a particular problem. It doesn't have to be anything big. Start by sharing your journey. And I think one thing that holds us back is that we are so used to success stories. You hear people talk about, okay, this is how I did this and then I got that. So because you think your story has not gotten to that part, it is not worth sharing. I'm here to tell you that you can share your story even though it is not yet, you don't think it will be gotten there yet. So even if you're just starting, you still share your story. People want to relate to you. So when you're still struggling, post your progress. When you're making mistakes, because there's nobody here that will tell me that, even though the OG and the big guys in tech, there was a point when to write a single code, just a little program, was an issue for you. So you will write and then you will run into bugs and you get stuck there. So we have these blockers, like you just run into blockers every time. But when you're building in public, you can share your story and tell them, okay, today I'm facing this particular blocker. Today I'm not able to do this particular thing. And you will see people begin to come around your page to support you. People that know what you're already doing can always show you what they have done to pass that particular thing. How they were able to pass something like that. And you can also, they connect with you. You build network, you share your story, you connect with your audience. Like they also know you as someone that does this particular thing. So you'll be surprised that when you are telling your stories like this, at a point, someone can just reach out to you from nowhere and ask you, okay, I've been following you. Like it's something always surprising when someone says something like that. I've been following you and I've seen that you post about things like that. Can you please help me? How do I ask you a question? That is to show that people are watching. Whatever you're posting, people are watching. So you just have to. How do you want people to see you? What you're posting, what is it? What they're about? Is it something that's going to benefit you in the future? Or you're just posting for posting's sake? It's not just about posting pictures and posting just random things. You have to be very intentional about it. So share your progress, discuss your challenges, and document your lessons. So you can, to also help other people, this creating valuable content for fellow developers. You can help other coming developers that are working on something that is similar to what you're working on now. They can follow that process to see what you have done and also ask questions. Now you see that you're already building a community of people with like the same interest. You have your crowd actually, because when we go into social media, right, these days, you just see random things. see people posting random things, and you don't even know, you feel like, oh, this place is so saturated. No. The only niche you have to focus on is your own niche. Your own niche is what you do, what you can do. Tell your own story. No one can tell your story like you. So we want to see you, we want to relate to you. So it is only your story that is unique to you, and you get to stand out when you tell your own story. Alright, personal branding through social media. So when you're building your personal brand, like say as a developer, you share your story, you share your projects, the projects you built in the past. Like I said, you don't just post those projects. You tell a story. One thing about social media is you have to tell a story. And you don't just post things that people don't understand. If you take selfies and post and someone likes your picture, I mean they're going to like, right? They'll like and then they scroll. But when you're telling a story that's not just more than just posting a selfie, when you're telling a story, people can relate to that story. People can see themselves in that story. They can relate to you and be like, okay, I think this is a community where I should be in. If it's someone that connects to you, your people of like minds, they'll come around your page and you get to grow your community with them. So you also network with people because when you start posting things like that, people that are also interested in this will come to you and ask for your guidance. You also have it opens door for lots of opportunities. Like you get to collaborate with people. If you're someone that you're just working on your own business, you get to collaborate with other businesses. If you're someone that you are looking for a job, you get to meet with other CEOs on that space, especially LinkedIn. You go there, you set up your profile, and tell your story. Your story is unique to you, and we want to relate to you. So you have to make it different and unique so that people that when someone sees you, they'll be able to tell that this particular person tells this kind of story, and when you are looking for something like that, they come to your page, already know where to come and find you. So that's basically it. So your journey is as important as your destination. It's about documenting your process. It's about taking it one step at a time till you get to where you're going to. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's really loud. Thank you so much. Please celebrate yourself. Okay, my name is Mercy, and I'm so excited to be here. And the good thing about it is, I heard the two speakers that spoke. The first one was talking about blockchain, smart contract. The second one was talking about Android, Visa, and Cynthia was talking about iOS, Flutter. I'm like, what's all about my designers? So I'm here to talk about design. So please, can someone celebrate us? So the designer here, a UI designer, a user experience designer, user researcher, anything about a user. And the good thing about my topic is I'm not going to dive deeply into AI because Mr. June here has laid the foundation. So I'm not going into AI yet, but I'm here to talk about us. If you're not a user to a platform here, let me see your hand up. You keep hearing user. Who are the users? I am. You are. So whenever I hear user, don't think they are a bunch of people sitting under the rock. No, you're a user. I'm a user. You are using something and you're trying to sell something. So if you learn how to use, how your user thinks, you'll be able to know how to sell because somebody else is a user. You get that right? Good. So let's go next. So that's me. Okay, okay. So I'm not going to talk about how long should I wait. Talk about this. We all know that. Thank you, Mr. Jude, for laying the foundation. AI, I wanted to ask a question. Will AI replace you? And then got to my head like AI is you're training AI, machine learning, to know how to think like you. And you on the other hand is scared that AI will replace you. Do you understand this? AI is trying to learn what you know. You have so much intelligence in here, and what is bothering you is, will this thing replace me? So I want us to understand our place in this technology. Are you with me? So I'll be talking about few things. So this is, we are not motivating you. I want you to know your place, that AI won't replace you, but somebody using AI will. And I'm not going to talk about this. Mr. June already explained what AI is. So I'm going to talk about a paradigm shift. So, yep, next. Next. Okay, so I want to shock you. When Mr. June was showing his speaker, I saw one beautiful, all this AI movie that I used to watch there. So whenever you get AI, where is this? Okay. Is that not all the AI that exists, okay? AI is not only that. I watch a lot of this movie, so AI is not those Avengers that come and take over planet Earth. No, that's not AI. You're using AI already. The applications you use, Google Map, different applications you use, Grammarly. Most of the Grammarly have been sending us WhatsApp chats. You type on nonsense spelling, Grammarly will just put in order. All those things are AI. So AI is already here. AI is seated right beside you. But you are confused because when ChatGPT came, you saw the great things that ChatGPT can do, and you're like, how? AI replaces me or not? But AI has been here. So if you are using Spotify, you are using Siri, Google Map, Netflix recommendation. You go to Netflix, you watch this movie, and next time you're coming to Netflix, you are seeing that kind of movie. So like me, I love to watch documentary. So if I come and watch one, Netflix keep recommending more like that. So they are copying you and personalizing your experience. That is an AI actually. So they can talk about, so AI is being a part of your life. This is not the one that's come. There's really AI there. So don't think about this whenever you hear AI. This can be scary. Don't think about this, okay? Please don't think about it. So let's go next. So let's now think about the positive impact of AI on user experience. The fact that you are using an application now like WhatsApp, Facebook, and other applications is because when you come there, they understand you as a user and give you experience that you like. I'm all about users' experience. How you feel when you interface with an interface. How you feel when you use a website. How you feel when you use TikTok. How you feel when you use Facebook. So this is what AI can help to improve the experience of applications. Number one is, I'm always trying to stress next, more personalization, less customization. There's an application that when you use, they will tell you can change. Customization is, I like you knowing what you like, and once you go into the application, you are changing it. Okay, you are using the website, like all of you that like that thing here. So you are going to email, you are changing the color to black. You are going to this place, you are changing the font style, the font color, the theme of your phone. You are customizing your phone to have an experience that you like. So that this one holds your phone, say, this is mine. For everybody like having my own. So customization is mine. You are customizing it. But we are now in the era of personalization. Personalization is AI is studying you. Why do you think the day I went to Facebook and and I watched one lady that was crying. She lost someone. For some beautiful reason, I thought the song they used. I opened my Facebook page the next morning. I've just seen barriers everywhere. I had to change it faster. Facebook is not this early morning. So what happened? They were studying me. So most times, if you want somebody to buy you phone, girls, if you want him to buy you something, go to his phone and search all those things. Search it, keep searching it. So when you just come to your phone, it's a big thing, what I buy for her? Start moving on. You get it right? You get it? Update. So anytime you want something, just search it. So people start thinking that, oh, this person wants this thing. So that's personalization. You did not tell them, but they are studying you. Customization is difficult, but then when you click here, you change here, you click here, you change. Personalization, just from using the app, they are watching you. They are seeing what you do. They are seeing what you click on. They are observing you. That is why they are bringing everything you want. They are holding your phones like they are seeing everything you like. I love to swim. So once I go to TikTok, all I see is swimmers. Like people are blasting. Maybe she calm down. I know you are catching. Do you understand? So that's what AI is helping you to do. So you should be thinking personalization as a designer, not just customization. So if someone tell you, I want to build an application, I want to do this thing, you should think, how can we personalize the experience? When you want to start a product, before they'll tell you a target audience. But a target audience could be 1,000 people. But the good thing about personalization is that your experience, your history, your family, everybody have different DNA. So all the experience and everything you are having make you a unique audience. So Facebook and AI understood this and can personalize your experience to even 1,000,000 people, which is an advantage we should use. So AI can also enhance user experience with implementation of virtual try-on. When I was studying this, maybe I've bought something before, like glasses, for example. I love glasses. I wear glasses a lot. You bought this glass, and I've bought one glass before. It was round, like round shape. So me, I always use cat glasses because of the shape of my face. I love cat glasses. Then one day I said, let me try rectangle glass. I saw it in one beautiful girl's eyes. When I wore it on my face, like there was no matching at all. I just asked myself, okay, now you have known what not to do. But I wasted my money, I wasted my resources. But now watching through using AI, you want to try your glasses. For example, you go here now, walk by Packard.com, and you want to buy your glasses. I'm not doing any kind of advertisement for them because I don't follow them. I'm just telling from my research here. So you go there and you want to buy glasses, not being in Nigeria. So you want to buy glasses, you can try it on. You put it there. You just in my house, I was doing this, I just sat down like, okay, let's try it. I sat down and put my face. I turned like this, on the side. I said, wow, these are advantages of AI. So I look a designer. And you're thinking of AI taking your job. Why don't you think of designing such kind of applications and meet with a AI kind of designer or developer and you do something like that? You see yourself standing out from the rest kind of person that is scared of innovation. Do you get it? So if you go to, I think, brother.com, that's for makeup, I think. So even shape, like fashion, there are some people that you can dress, you check if the dress fits you. The product, I think it's for lipstick and makeup. So if you don't know the color of what you should put on your lips, you can, instead of buying and wasting your money, you can try it on and you know if the color matches you. So these are important innovations. So as a designer, what should you think of? What kind of technology can I bring this virtual try-on? What kind of thing can I build? Is it shoes? Is it wig? Maybe you know a wig vendor, you can build something like that for them. Is it, just think about this is showing you that endless possibilities in the space of AI. So neurally, if you study about this one actually got me happy. This is in the health sector. Some persons are blind, some persons are dumb, Some person can't move their hands like they are paralyzed. They cannot do anything with their forearms. So what can AI do for them? Neuralink is a brand founded by Elon Musk, right? What do they do? With your eyes, you can operate your phone, you can operate your laptop. These are the people that are paralyzed. They cannot sit on your chair, paralyzed with your hands and your legs, and you're using your eyes like, okay, open my phone, close my phone. With the use of AI, you just insert something in the person's brain and insert it in the computer. So I don't think it's out there. I think it's still in trying phase. I don't know much about that. But looking at the possibility of some people that don't, be honest, one, okay, people that are deaf, so there is still possibility of these people experiencing life and technology the way we are seated right here. So that's a very good one, and I love that fact. So what should you be taking out? This can go next. So the way forward. So now the new era, designers and user researchers and this is your way forward here. Designing with AI and designing for AI. Let me explain why. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be fast. So look at command-based interaction was what we are doing before. So I'm going to explain this to you. This kind of here. This kind of. So can you hear me, please? Okay. So I'm going to explain. Do I really press this? Okay, I'm going to explain command-based interaction like this and intent-based interaction. So there's a diagram there. Please, can you help here? This is speaking of working well. You see a diagram. In the command-based interaction, you see a diagram. Just look for me, you see. In command-based interaction, what happens is, if you want to design a tree, designers normally, you go to Photoshop, bring a hand. You want to design a tree, you go to Photoshop and bring all the things. Computer don't know what you want to do. They are bringing everything. Change it from color yellow to color green and all of that, then your tree will come. You look at it, the tree is not fine, you continue editing, you get what is in your brain. But intent based is you going to ChatGPT or Midjourney and said, I need a tree. So how you get that tree? I don't care. Give me a tree. So that's what AI is changing us to. So we are no longer commanding or commanding the computer, do this for me, do this for me. No, but we are other than telling the computer, I need this. Give you show me your result and give you your command. So how does this affect the way you think? When someone is bringing an application called designers and user researchers, we are the first kind of key points in any technology development. We are doing the empathy, we are doing the research, we are doing the interview. So when you bring a solution to us, we try to check the idea and understand, okay, for now, since you understand the AI, can we think towards this end? If you now come to training, once you come online, you don't want to do it's my time. Okay, so in summary, when you come online, you don't want to do this, do that, do this. For what you want, you have results in mind, and you're finding the AI that will find the results for you. So in summary, design with AI. Design with AI and don't fight AI. AI, you are. So AI still needs you. It's not it's trying to learn how you think. So don't think AI is there to replace you. AI don't reason. So AI still needs you. AI has limitations. And finally, stay on the driver's seat. Don't leave it for AI. Don't leave it for anybody. Thank you so much.
Hello, anybody see me? Okay, I want to start by who is the front end here? A front end, can I see your hand? Okay, please here. Okay, if you are in the developer, back end, front end, can I see your hand? Okay, okay, if you have worked in your lifetime touched JavaScript, HTML, can I see your hand? Oh, yeah, okay, so I have my play now. So, today I'm talking on enhancing developer productivity with Google tools and AI. So, a lot of us have been using this, and some of us don't really know how we can use this tool effectively to enhance our work. So, I'll be talking on that. Okay, about me.
the introduction video has done justice to this. So I'll just go straight to the last one. They call me the tech evangelist. I think every other one will be covered, and I love to mentor people, to tell people what tech is, invite people to tech. Okay, the next one. Okay, why the global productivity? Why does it even matter? So for the global productivity, one why it matters is that if we increase the global productivity, we find out that we have faster delivery and also quality of the work we do will be quality, and also it is essential for keeping up with tight deadline and also complex projects. Also, the key takeaway is that optimizing workflow leads to more time for innovation. Like all of us know that once you are productive, you have more time to do other things. Also, intro to Google. Most of us are using Google, but how do we really use this Google? And what is Google? So Google is a set of tools built into the Google browser, and it helps developers to do a lot of things. And one of them. So what is the purpose of Google? The purpose of Google is to help developers inspect, debug, monitor, and do a lot of things on the browser. It helps developers to be more productive. Instead of to find those bugs and everything on the code, you can see them on the browser and edit them while you can inspect and edit them on the browser. So why do we use Google Chrome? One, to reduce debugging time. Two, to get insight into performance bottleneck. And three, to optimize loading time and user experience. So the next one is this code. Matching Google Data can drastically enhance development and speed up speed and efficiency. What are the key basics of Google Data? The basic key data features. What are those features that are key? One of them is the element panel. In the element panel is used to quickly view HTML, CSS, and the structure of the CSS and edit on the fly. You can see the HTML, you can see the CSS and edit them on the fly. The next one is control panel. The control panel is used to execute JavaScript, log output, and debug error on the browser. The next one is to access, which is the source tree, is used to access your code file, you can set a breakpoint and debug line by line on your browser. The next one is the network tab. In the network tab, you can use it to analyze your request, either your post request, get request, and all the requests that you do. And also you can use it to check for failed requests and optimize your access load time. And the next one, the advanced feature of Google Data, we have one, the performance panel. In the performance panel, you can use to analyze the loading time of the page. You can use to identify the bottleneck and also optimize the rendering of your page. So if you can check, if you see them, okay, if you can check, you see that the picture behind is a web page, and I cycle it red so that you can know the exact panel that. If you look at this performance panel, you see the performance of this particular web page there. Okay, the next one is the lighthouse. Lighthouse is used to audit the performance of the page. You can use it for accessibility, SEO, and much more. So if you can see, like on this particular page, we have the accessibility 100 and the SEO is 100. So you can use it to audit your page to know how good is your page. So the next one, we have the memory. So in the memory, it's used to detect any leak memory and optimize resources management. The next one is application panel. In the application panel offers insight into various aspects of web application, including the storage, caching, and service worker. So you can do all this in the application panel. So we have some shortcuts. For you to start using DevTools, you need to have a browser, and also there are some shortcuts that you need to master yourself with so that you can be productive with DevTools. So these are some of the DevTools. For example, if you want to open your DevTool for Mac OS, we do Command and Option I. For Windows, you do Control Shift I, or Arrow 12. You get the same. Go to the interface of the DevTool. So these are the shortcuts that you can use to optimize your performance. Like you can use it to do work faster instead of going to click one after the other. Okay, the next one. Okay, introduction to AI. We have a lot of speakers that spoke on AI. I don't think I should do more on AI. So the next, what is AI? They have already put on the meaning of AI. Okay, why AI as an engineer? Why AI as an engineer? One, to boost productivity and efficiency because it helps you to, number two is to automate repetitive tasks. And the next one is to personalization and improve user experience. Number four, to provide intelligent and suggestion and enhance your code quality and then the next one is solve complex problems faster. So the time that is supposed to take to solve this problem, you can give the AI to solve it. And if something can take you 1 hour, you can take AI some seconds to solve it. Some popular AI tools, we have seen so many of them, but these are some of them for developers. One of them is Gemini. All of us, has anyone used Gemini yet? For code? Okay, thank you. And then the next one is Kuso. I see much love this Kuso AI. Who has used Kuso AI? Okay, that's my guy. So, try Kuso AI is an AI code editor. So if you are used to VS Code or any other code editor, you can have it inside the code editor. And there's another one, Podium, the one that is coming that is like super interesting is GitHub Spark. GitHub Spark will build an application with just use interacting with it. It's going to create a database, connect it, as you are just interacting. You can change anything that you want to change from it. So the next one is GitHub Copilot. So as a developer, you should be confident with those tools. It will help you be more productive. So in conclusion, mastering your DevTools can significantly boost your productivity. AI integration is becoming a game changer in modern web application. Combining these DevTools and AI is a superpower. So that is do we have everything? Okay. So this is me, the public tech evangelist. Thank you.
So I'm talking about going with the tech community. So I want it to be a bit interactive. I don't have time, but I don't want to converse with you guys. When you hear going with the community, what comes to mind? Please, can you answer this? Yeah, when you hear going with the community, what comes to mind? When you hear the word going with the community, tech community, what comes to your mind? Huh? Exactly. Please give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. So, when you hear about going with the tech community, it means interacting, collaborating, networking with people, right? A backstory. I don't know what anything. It was said on both sides precisely. So, when I was
honestly, for that student that don't know basically why and that's so, when I went to study computer science, I had this mindset that after studying computer science, I'm going to open a cyber cafe to start cyber cafe business. I don't know that any other thing will take, right? Until I attended one event in Port Harcourt where the Eleni's event in Damata. That was actually the first thing that changed my mind in tech. To open my eyes in it, right? I attended that event with my friend here, she's here, one of the speakers. Please put your hands together for her. So, we attended that event in Port Harcourt and I got inspired. One thing I do as a human being is I always ask myself that if this person can do something, like Joy, what is actually stopping you from doing that? Right? So I haven't been to a tech event or know that something like tech exists in Imo State. Right? Then I had to bring others events in my school at Nigeria. Although I did a little bit of politics there, and I used it to contest the election, and I won and organized the event. So that's how I started my tech journey started. Like I started by belonging to doing it myself. I didn't wait for somebody to bring it down. I started by doing it, let's do it. Like people that volunteer last year, I told some of them that I had to drag some of them to speak last year. Exactly, because I can't believe it. We have to wait for any big celebrity to come and talk to us when we can develop our own celebrity. The next network we are going to have is the person sitting next to you. Right? Why not start to build that network? You may not be friends with any big celebrities that are looking out there, but you'll be friends with your friend beside you, and both of you can be the celebrities that you look up to. Am I communicating? So that's what tech community does. Grow your network, get people. I met Posty in the community, in the tech community. I met Olivia, she's not here. I met Evangel, she's not here. From the tech community. You get, they are students of Pluto when they talk, but we've been doing things from there. I met Wina in the tech community. I met, I didn't tell you guys, hey! We have celebrity couple as our speaker today. Like, let's start with them. They're in this community. They are in the tech community or a community. So it's more like we are growing together and everybody's just becoming celebrity out there. Once in a while, you come together in the network, you build things, right? Even if you don't build that highest district or network, opportunity might come for one person. Referrals might come for one person, that kind of a thing. So, and I'm just here to encourage you to look for community to join. They are the business community, an ambassador. That's women technicals for the women. Then GDG, don't do the robbers group. Then GDS, just look for the one that is in your school for students to join and grow from there. I know there are different GDS units and the current GDS unit. Look for them to join. Don't hide. Don't hide when you're in the community. Don't hide. Just expose yourself there. But if you don't see any community to join, find your own community. And do that also online. Be doing online events. Before you know it, you have to do physical events. Before you know it, like from there. I'm actually here to encourage us to keep doing that thing that we are doing, that good thing that we are doing, not just that thing that you are doing, but the good things that you are doing. Tomorrow, it will pay off. Thank you very much for having me.
Like the community have grown, right? If you agree with me, where did you are? I remember the first event we had in Owerri. I don't think we are up to like 50, right? I'm surprised we can pull this rate now. I don't have time. I'm not here with any presentation. I'm more here to just teach us something that is very, very practical, something that worked for me, worked for my colleague, worked for everyone that I've worked with in the community. So, and what is that thing? You agree with me. Now, first of all, I'm here for two kind of people. So, if you know you just started the tech journey, let's say roughly 3 months ago. Can I see your hand up? 2, 3 months ago. Okay, I'm here for you. Then if you know you've been in this tech journey for like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, still nothing to show for it. Can I see your hand up? Don't be shy. Practically, I can tell you. Yeah. I can tell you. After let's 2019. I was practically living off of beef sangare, right? That was my meal, and I eat it once a day. So you shouldn't be ashamed of that. Don't be afraid of your little beginning, right? And I'm here to show you or teach you something that is very practical, something that I beat my chest that if you do, and if you are consistent with it, trust me, you will have results. And results I mean is you start getting gigs, start getting recognition, and all that. So there is difference between being consistent, right, and having visibility, right? So which means you can be consistent, but you won't succeed just because you lack visibility. And then there is also people that shows visibility, but they are not consistent, right? So if you know you want to succeed in this tech journey, I know some of us here venturing into it because tech is the new oil, tech is where we are going to blow and things like that. But then there's some work you need to do to be able to be successful, and that work is consistency and visibility. Now let's break it down. When I mean consistency, people that I mentor, some of them I know that are here, what I've continuously discussed with them or told them was, you can't come to me and you are saying, how can I land a job, help me with this, help me with that. When you know, right, that there are a lot of activities that you can put out there that can get you what you really need. And what do I mean by that? So, for you that you are just starting off, is a good thing because you are hearing this, you should put it into practice. So now you are learning, right? Let's take a typical example, software engineering, you are focusing on front end, right? You are going to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all the likes of them. Why not, as you are learning on a daily basis, and it will help you to sink in whatever you are learning, right? Practical activity you should be doing is whatever you are learning, even if you are learning about variable today, after your whole tutorial and practice and everything, take some minutes, even if it is an hour, write about what you have learned, right? And then go on your platforms, right? Disturb people with it, post it on your status, right? Your status is not just to show yourself and all that. Post it on your status. Guys, I just finished learning about variable and I wrote an article on it. You can find it on LinkedIn, you can find it on Medium and all that. Just imagine doing that for all the topics, right, that you learn within that particular course. What that is doing for you is, because you don't know who is saying it, right? You are creating visibility for yourself, you are creating an audience for yourself, and at the same time, you are creating a knowledge base for yourself that other people can start referencing. Now, as you are doing that, and this principle can be applied to data science, I'm someone that gone through the whole cycle, right? From design to front end to back end. I remember the first design banner that I designed for one of my events. Till today, anything this has not forgiven me about how I modeled his image on that particular banner. But what I'm trying to say is, I became consistent. I was not successful because I was not consistent and I was not creating visibility for myself. And I love what Joy has said about community, right? I became aware and conscious of visibility for myself when I joined the community. that was when I understood the importance of consistency and visibility for myself, and I started doing that. Unfortunately, the current role or my current interest then was data science. And if you know me like 2-3 years back, you know that if you want to talk about data science in Imo State, I'm one of the people that you talk about, right? Before I moved away from that. And how that happened was because I started talking about data science. I started teaching people about data science. I started posting things about data science. I started writing about data science. And how I started getting opportunity when people started coming to me and said, I'm willing to pay you to teach me this. I'm willing to give you money to help you do this. There is this project I want you to come on board on. And they came to me because they saw all those things and they've seen my consistency. Right? I know I don't have much time. The message I want to pass here is practice these two things, right? You are new or you are still struggling, right? Be consistent and strive to create visibility for yourself. That niche that you want to focus on, be it data science, software engineering, back-end, front-end, be it technical support, whatever it is, build an audience. You don't even need to start looking out for people to start liking your stuff. Just use this format I've shared with you, right? Because we all here do one or two things regarding our field every day, right? So that thing that we are doing, don't take it as a simple minor thing, right? Maybe you finish before you close down your laptop. Take 1 hour. Think and reason about what you've learned today or what you've done. If you are already in the field, you are already practicing, you are not learning. Think about what you've done, write something about it, and put it out there. Thank you, everyone. This is what I need to share with you. So if you don't take anything out today, take this consistency and visibility. Give yourself 6 months, and if nothing changes, ask for my number.
Oh man, it's so good to see all these brilliant young faces and also the shock in your face. You're like, this guy doesn't look like that guy. Yeah. That's Dixon. Myself and Dixon were together in Lagos yesterday. And I'm like, oh shit, I have to be in Owerri today. I said, Dixon, what do you mean I have to be in Owerri today? I have somewhere else to be. He said, yeah, you have to be there because I can't make it. So I got on the 7 a.m. flight today from Lagos, and I'm here, and I'll be delivering what was supposed to be Dixon's keynote. I'm happy to be here, and I just want to say, the organizers, thank you so much for putting this together. It's brilliant. Please, a round of applause for that. I lead global marketing and communication for Quora. And I'm a martial artist. I fight. I also play the guitar sometimes. You won't find me performing at open mics though, because that shit is scary. And today, I want to talk to you about stories and software and a framework for bringing ideas to life. My name is Benga Onawada. I'm so happy to be here. I know that I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to run through these slides very quickly. I'm going to start with a few stories. All right, quick question. Why do we have mirrors inside the elevators? Anyone? What? Okay, yes, there's someone over there. For safety, just shout it out. Yes?
Oh, that's a good one. Just give her the microphone.
Give her mic, please.
So some people get, they feel like they're wasting their time.
Yeah.
Okay, when the elevator was first invented, there was no need. So people were like thinking that they're wasting time with the elevator. So they added mirror to distract people from taking about time.
Yeah. Thank you. Please, a round of applause for her. Now, I wanted to trick you guys. So I left those things there. Can you see the things that the text on the screen? Improve visibility and safety. You know, make the space feel bigger to reduce claustrophobia. Claustrophobia is that feeling you get when you're in a tight space and you feel like you're hyperventilating and you can't breathe properly. All these things are second order benefits of the mirror. The real problem, and I'm not going to over-index on what she has said, I think she captured it properly. That was the problem. I mean, that was the reason. The problem was that people said, oh, these elevators, they take too long. There are ways to have responded to the problem. They could build faster elevators, right? Very easy. Get the engineers in the room, like, give them enough money, solution will come out. But at the end of the day, they put a mirror inside the elevator, and the problem shifted from the elevator ride takes too long to I don't have enough time to apply my makeup. Now people wanted longer elevator rides, right? At least the ladies. Men don't care what they look like. Yeah, that's a lie. Men have a full face. What do they call that thing now? Face care, face. What do they call it? Skincare, yes. They have a full skincare thing now. Men used to go to war. Look at us now. The second story is about the UK rail system. People have the same complaint. The trains take too long. They want faster trains. They want them to come on time. They put all these engineers in the room and they came up with a solution. We are going to make what? We're going to make faster trains for the whole of London. Faster trains was going to cost the UK £10 billion to get faster trains. And then somebody else piped up in the room and said, look, the problem is uncertainty. The problem is that you don't know when your train is coming. And so they introduced this thing on the right here. They call them dot matrix. And usually what they will show you is how long your train is taking before it arrives. If your train is on time, they will tell you. If your train is delayed, this dot matrix is going to tell you. And what happens again is that the problem changes. It changes from, oh my God, I'm going to be late for this meeting. I don't know how long I have to wait here. To, when you see on the dot matrix that it's going to take 5 minutes for the train to get there, you can tell yourself, okay, I'm going to be late by 5 minutes. Okay, let me start picking up the line that I want to line. Or better still, 5 minutes is not so bad. I can manage it. The problem was uncertainty. And this single idea of putting this dot matrix saved the Transport for London, which is the organization responsible for the rail system in London, saved them over £10 billion. Why am I telling this story? The reality did not change. Did we get faster elevators? There were no faster elevators. The trains didn't go any faster. As a matter of fact, at some point, how many of us drive here? How many of us drive? Cars, not trains. If you drive trains, it's really weird. Yeah. You realize that at some point, no matter how much you speed, you cannot save any more time. In fact, in newer cars, they are beginning to introduce something called paceometer. And that means you can go fast
but it will tell you how much you are actually saving by the speed that you're going on. In fact, quick game for you guys. If you're going above 80 kilometers an hour, 80 miles an hour, you're not saving any more time, you're just running through. Right? So now that fuel is like 1080, 1080 naira. You guys are welcome. I just saved you some money, yeah? You're welcome. Clap for me now. This is what we're doing here. It's the same reality, but different response. Why was that the case? Because people were telling themselves different stories. People were able to switch away from a particular story to get to a different story without necessarily inventing all that overhead into engineering. Now, I'm listening to a lot of the speakers here, and I'm so inspired because that's why we're here. We're here to build. We're here to build. And there's so many tools that is making that easy, and we have to build. But my goal for the keynote is just to introduce something a bit softer that can maybe help us differentiate in a software market that is now almost indistinguishable. One of the earlier speakers, I think it was Amadi, I don't see him here anymore. He talked about a particular tool called GitHub Spark. And with GitHub Spark, you can use that intent-based command something. She's left too. Why are the speakers leaving? The lady who talked about UX talked about that. You can write a line of text, natural language. You can put that into a chat box and it's going to feed you back a bunch of code. What that means is that at some point, everybody is going to be able to build. That leaves us with two options. You have to be 10x better as a developer, or you have to bring something different. And at the end of the day, the thing that you have that nobody else does are your stories. Your very specific stories. See, your story, you in the back there with the black shirt, you, yes, your story is very different from you, red shirt with a really nice hair. You're living very, very different lives. Complicated, nuanced, rich, and beautiful. I want to take those stories, insert them into the things you build them. It makes a whole world of difference. In the 1960s, JFK, one of the better loved presidents of the United States, said, "We are going to put a man on the moon and land him back safely to Earth before the end of the decade." That's a story. And you know what that story did? It united people around a single mission. Every single person in the United States was united around that mission to get a man to the moon and bring them safely back to Earth. That's what stories do. Stories unite us around a single mission. A lot of us are building here. The way to build, and I'm going to give you guys a game here. We think a lot of the times, building is about spending 14 hours, 20 hours coding by yourself. Sometimes you have to be able to sell a good story to bring on board superstars that will build with you. You know the old story. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, come on, let me hear you guys. Go together. This is how you start with a story. You have to have a compelling story and communicate it effectively as well. I should give a caveat now. I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't already know. I don't think I'm going to tell you anything that you don't already know. A lot of the times, the purpose of events like this is really to remind us, get us back to just rediscover the magic that is already inside of us that we're working on. So this is not a lecture, really. It's just a reminder. There's nothing here that you don't already know. So first idea, people unite around stories. Maya Angelou said, people are not going to remember what you said. They will not remember what you did. They probably remember the shirt that you're wearing. But long after they met you, they will remember how you made them feel. Today, a lot of you are going to remember how Winner made you feel. You are going to remember how Esther made you feel. You're going to remember how the individuals that you meet here in your one-to-one conversation, remember how they made you feel. And the reason why is because of the stories that they share with you. And stories are not only spoken. Stories are also experienced in your clothes, in the tone of voice that you speak with, in the pacing of your voice, in this thing falling to the ground. I know it's funny, but for one of you, 10 months from now, when you think about today, this is what you remember. These are stories. Long after facts and figures, feelings remain. And that's why stories are important. And you are asking me, I'm a developer now, like, why should I think about stories? Stories is stickiness. You're all familiar with stickiness, yeah? You want to build an app that people can use again and again and again, right? It comes to stories. It's not the quality of your code base. We've talked about it. Anybody can build right now. Can anybody build? Can everybody build at world-class level? No. I know when I think I'm like, what do you mean anybody can build? I spent 20 years getting this skill, right? But the difference is, the baseline is no longer a baseline. It's so difficult to get entry-level developer roles now because anybody can just put something in ChatGPT, get some code out, use the same ChatGPT to QA the code and get something that works. Right? Stories are important because they leave us with feelings. You're probably asking me, you're probably wondering, why is this guy dressed like this? Is he Gen Z? Why is he dressed like an old man? I was ready with my cargo shorts and cool Gen Z stuff. Oh wait, I'm coming here to talk about stories, right? Why am I not telling my own story? So I put this on. Do I look okay? Should I look like that? Stories. It says I'm offline. I wanted to share a link with you guys regarding how stories can help us actually find the problem that people don't know that they have. Before the slide comes up, I'm just going to ask you 2 quick questions. Or just paint 2 vignettes. Before Henry Ford invented cars, what did people use to move around? Horses. That's true. And then Henry Ford made this quote, said, if you asked people what they wanted at that time, what would they have told you? Faster horses. People would say they wanted faster horses. Steve Jobs, we all know him, we love him. Stay hungry, stay foolish. When Steve Jobs invented the iPhone, do you know what the people at Microsoft said? Steve Ballmer specifically. Oh, Winner, sorry, yeah, Microsoft, but that was way before your time. Steve Ballmer said he gives iPhone 10 years. It's going to stop being a company. Because nobody uses, just the glass, to type. Everybody wants the tactile touch. Everybody wanted, the BlackBerry. That was what was in back then, right? But here we are. A lot of us not only have iPhones, we have other phones that have been influenced by that design language. Our Technophones, our Itel, our Samsung, everything is now looking like an iPhone. How we do it? Please, though, I want to quickly finish before they start throwing tomatoes at me. Okay. Speaking of tomatoes, do you remember one time that the national grid was down for a long time? I think about 2 weeks. And then on Nigerian Twitter, people started complaining that, this one that there is no electricity like this. How are the people in hospital going to survive? You remember it? They were complaining, what if somebody needed oxygen? What if they needed, very... Some people are laughing. What if they needed urgent care that needs, electricity? That's what they were saying on Twitter. But you know what people were saying on their WhatsApp group? My soup is in the fridge, man. I don't want it to go bad. We are all performers. Stories allow us to get to the real problem that people are trying to solve. I need my third goal. Stories allow us to get to the problem that people are really trying to solve. Thank you guys so much. So let's just go. Okay, perfect. They're almost done. Can you go back to these? Just go back more. That is good. Perfect. Story is how we solve the right problem. Right? This is the Trojan horse. Can I point with this? How do I get the list of the word? Okay. That's what. Now, NLC strike. Everybody was striking. There was no lights. And people were complaining like, no lights in hospitals. Meanwhile, they were worried about the BC suit, their open salad, and right? So, stories is how we get into the stories, into the real problem people are trying to solve. Right? Moving on. Okay, next slide, please. Stories is also how we get to the market. What do I mean by this? They say build a better mousetrap and the world will beat the path to your house. But people don't need better mousetraps. What do they need? What? Shout it, you're right. Not better stories though. If there is a rat in your house and you say, let's sit down, let's talk. They need a house that doesn't have rats. They don't care how that happens. They just want a house that does not have rats in it. That's where stories come. It's how you get to market. It's how you communicate what problem you're really trying to solve. It's how you get your users to do. I'm going to move really fast. And this is where the magic happens. Now that we see how powerful stories are, how useful stories are. Next slide, please. Oh, actually, there's one more thing. Also, stories are an edge. But I've talked about this earlier. Everybody's story is different. Everyone has a unique perspective. And that's the perspective that you have to bring into building something. Otherwise, you're just going to become like everybody else. No differentiation. You can't have that. Story is our edge. Story is how we last the test of time. There's a rapper called Mark Level. He said something in one of the songs that I love. He said, we die twice. The first time is when we take our last breath. The second time is the last time somebody says our name for the last time. Did you get that? I'll say it again. We die twice. The first time is when you take your last breath. The second time is when someone says your name for what? The last time. Stories is how you stand the test of time. We are going to build amazing things here. But you can't stop there. Being a builder doesn't just mean building. Being a builder means people actually using what you built. You see, that flywheel of building and development doesn't complete without a user in the mix actually using it. Right? And that's why the story is important. How do you talk about the things that you built, and how do you tell that story of what you built so that it lasts the test of time? Now that we understand that stories and how powerful they are, let's discuss a few frameworks. How can you get started right now? One of my most preferred framework, and what I've also done is to categorize them based on what you're going to do with them. If you're trying to articulate your problem, next slide please. If you try to articulate your problem, one of the best framework is the GWTB model. It is get, who, to, buy. I give an example here. We want to get developers who are frustrated about finding the right problem and the right team to build with. Or developers who are scared that AI is going to take their jobs. We want to get them to start with storytelling, to see what impact their unique stories can have on the quality of things they build by introducing the power of storytelling and giving frameworks to get started. When I wanted to come up with this presentation, I used this, and it helped me get started. The useful framework for articulating the problem that you're trying to solve. If you're trying to listen to what, I'm confused both of you, that's a winner there. Picture there, not there, not right there. Right. Now, when I was talking about writing, this is also a good way to start. If you want to write a piece, who is it for? What do you want them to do? How do you want them to get them to take? How do you want to get them to take that action? Right? Next slide. Prep. Another useful model. This is for getting your ideas across. It stands for point, reason, example, point again. When you've articulated the problem that you're trying to solve, you need to get a team around you, right? To build with you. Please, if you don't take anything at all from this session, take this. Don't build alone. There is a reason why the most successful companies are companies with co-founders. That's because the downside of us having very unique stories is that the only person that feels the pain the same way that we feel it is who? Us. We are all very unique people. See, when your mom sat you down and said you're special, she wasn't lying. That's because you are. Say I'm special. The downside of it is that if you are by yourself building alone, you're going to miss a lot of important signal from the marketplace. So build together. And what is the way to get people to build together? You have to sell them the story. This is one good way to sell them the story. Make your point. I want to build, my time is coming up. Make your point, give the reason, give an example, make your point again. Okay? Alright. Another framework is what, so what, now what. Very useful in recruiting a team. What? Hello, I'm a software engineer, I'm a top visa player, I'm parent of 20 plans. My name is Uche. That's your what. So what? I'm here at this conference to find some fun ways to incorporate stories into software. What now? What are you looking to learn today? Take a picture of this. As you go around today trying to connect with each other, try to use it as a template. It's so difficult to connect with now. Still this template. Get it in, get it behind the product. And finally, next slide please. Next slide. Never washing. I'm a karateka, I do martial arts. I engage with this Japanese concept. And this is my favorite one here, is the idea of building influence. When you build a team, when you're trying to get into the marketplace, one of the best ways to get people to buy into your idea, next slide, is to build consensus. Before you go to the marketplace, start with small groups. Get them behind you. By the time you go into the bigger marketplace, it's going to be, oh, look at all of these people who already agree with me. I'm going to give a final story, and then I'm going to get off the stage. Right? I say already looking at me like, this guy, have my tomatoes here. A final story. Red Bull, when Red Bull was launching, I mean, it was no Red Bull, the energy drink. What they did was that they took like a ton of cans of Red Bull, empty cans, and they put them in different waste bins across the city. Do you know what happened? Everyone goes to the bin and then they see a can of Red Bull, it's like huge cans, like, what is this? And who are the people drinking this? It must be so good if this many people are drinking it. They're empty cans, by the way. And what happens? The next time people go to the market, to the stores, they see Red Bull and they go like, oh, this is probably good. A lot of people have been drinking it, right? Building influence. It doesn't just work with products. Mostly it works with people. If you work in executive roles, build consensus, get your work out. Now, just to recap, you will build great things. I have no doubt about it. You will build great things. As a matter of fact, we have built great things here. How many of us have seen this meme before? The modern infrastructure, all of that is supported by this tiny piece of block here. This piece of block is a random project that is being maintained by somebody in Owerri. Thanklessly, he's just doing it. And if that person were to stop maintaining the entire ecosystem crash, it happens. The kind of things that we build will have the same impact on the world. It's just what it is, because we're so passionate. Right? Well, next slide. In conclusion, in closing, stories are ways to learn what people care about. They are ways to grow our influence. They are ways to connect. And I hope that in the midst of all this, you can go away with one idea that improves the impact that you make on the world, the impact that you make on Africa. Thank you guys.
So I was thinking on the topic, we have to do with building a tech career and a specific industry target. You know, we are all skillful people in this building, but the problem is that most of us don't really have this tech career. But we are skillful. We have the skill, we have the talent, but we are just learning the skill without building a career out of the skill. So, don't get me wrong, you might be making pay from whatever you do now, but do you really have a career in that thing you are doing? So this is what I'm here to explain better to you all. So, have you gotten something like that? Unfortunately. Have you gotten a lot of it? Do you know that there is a specific reason for this? That doesn't mean that you're not good. It doesn't mean that you don't have a skill. What happens is that you are not a perfect fit. Okay? So the tech world is much of a competition right now with having new people engaging into the tech industry. So if you are not being strategically enough, you might be finding it difficult. So what am I saying? This as a result of not building for a specific industry, your career for a specific industry. What am I trying to say? Building a tech career in a specific industry target involves a strategic approach to align your skill, experience, and professional network with a chosen field of interest. This targeted career path allows individuals to get a deep understanding of a particular industry, ensuring that your efforts
that sleepless night, right? And investment yield optimal results and career satisfaction. So, look at this. This is my LinkedIn chat. So, what is it trying to say? This is a LinkedIn proof of work, right? So, I'm trying to say that I have built my career as a software engineer around the educational sector and e-commerce, which made me a co-founder of a company and I'm wearing the t-shirt now, the T-seller, right? So, now, this is a proof trying to let you know that you need to build for a specific industry. Is it fintech? Is it healthcare? Is it agro-tech? Whatever industry it is, you need to build toward an industry. You might pick a major and a minor, which I have a major, which is the educational sector, and my minor is the e-commerce sector, right? So, let's proceed. Why focus on a specific industry? Advantage of targeted expertise, right? High demand for industry-specific tech skills, increased value and career growth potential. Now let me explain this in one summary. Assuming that you have 5 years of experience as a software engineer, but you have been working randomly, you don't really have a roadmap in an industry. And I have a 2 years or 3 years of experience as a software engineer building for the fintech industry. I applied to Paystack. You applied to Paystack. You all know Paystack, right? You are a 5 years of experience engineer, right? You have more experience than me, right? And I have 2 years of experience solidly for the fintech industry. And now, we applied for the same role. Do you know that your years of experience might not supersede my own years of experience? As a lower years of experience with 3 years. This is kind of logical now, right? Are you following me? Now, imagine we go for this interview and they are interviewing us. You might be answering the question generally. But if I want to answer this question, I will be specific. I'll be using the fintech terminologies to answer these questions. Are you seeing that I am more valuable than you that have 5 years of experience? Right? This is what building for a specific industry, your career, learning a specific industry can help you. Now, that happens when if I apply for a job in a fintech space industry, I get a lot of opportunity. But when I apply for a job in an educational sector, I learn myself at interview. You see the difference, right? Because I have a portfolio targeted in the educational sector because I have solved a lot of problems in the educational sector, writing tools. And I understand how the industry works. So let's proceed. So understanding the tech demand of your choosing industry. Now this is what you are going to do to achieve that of work. Understanding the tech demand of the choosing industry. Research essential skills and technology. Explore the common challenges and pain points in that industry. Identify key players and their tech stack in that industry. See this main point? These are the key. So, and what I'm very familiar with is exploring the common challenges and pain points in that industry. If you have been building for a specific industry, you need to understand what is the problem of this industry. Then, when you are being interviewed, you sound confident. Your confidence level is very high. you sound intellectual. Okay? So, let's proceed. Build your tech skills strategically. Learn industry-specific technology and tools. Get certified in mixed skills, healthcare, work in new projects to demonstrate your expertise. In this, I want to understand. So, now, each industry have a tech which they are highly influenced with. Each industry has a programming language which they are highly influenced with. Right? Try to understand that industry. Know what skill can scale better in that industry. Know what to learn. Stop learning randomly. Stop it, because you might have a very long way to go. That's why you see some people who start 10 in the space of 1 or 2 years. They are making something for themselves. They are there. But some of you might start 5 years, but you are not there. That's not the simple truth. So let's proceed. Connect with professional and stay informed. Now, this is a very important aspect of this. Attend industry conference and meetups. Join forums, online communities, focus on the industry. Seek out mentors with experience in both tech and your targeted industry. So, this is as a result of my research being a mentor for 4 years. When I first started tech, I never had a mentor. It was difficult for me, I never started as a software engineer. I started as a network engineer. I do networking and fix system. Yeah, I was just scattered all over. So I said to myself that I'm going to be that mentor that I never had. Okay? Now, seek mentors. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. Let's proceed. And also, attend industry conferences. You say that you are a fintech developer, you are a fintech designer, but you have never attended any financial conference before in your life. What are you doing? You are who are you? You are targeting in the educational space, but you never attended any educational conference, be it locally or international. You haven't. You see that you're putting yourself in some stuff. This is where you meet people, founder, builder, and pitch to them that, see, I am this person, I can do this, I can do that. You have that close connection with them in that specific industry which you are building. Okay, this is a very interesting topic. That's small, aim big. Look for internship or entry level role in the industry. Everything should not be all about the paycheck. Okay? Work on freelance projects or side gig to build a portfolio for that industry. Volunteer or collaborate on industry-specific open source projects. Are you a designer? You can contribute to open source. Are you a software developer, a coder? You can contribute to open source. Are you a writer? You can contribute to open source. Are you a community manager? You can contribute to open source. How many people have that? Sorry? Stop. Okay, I'm running up already. So, anything you are doing, you can contribute to open source. If you understand what open source is, can you do you? Open source, should I explain what this means? Okay, thank you. Open source is basically a community of people building for people to use for free. We are not building to be paid. We are building to to make the community a better place. For people to use your work to solve their problem. That is what open source is all about. In a layman term. Okay? Thank you. So, strategize your job search. Whether you're using LinkedIn profile for the industry, highlight specific skill and experience relevant to that target market. Prepare for interview by learning about industry-specific scenarios, which I mentioned earlier. Right? Each industry has a specific scenario, their plans, which they base it on. You should be at the right place. It helps a lot because when interviewing, you will be flowing as if you are part of the team already. They have no option to bring you to the team. When you are showing people that I am in your team already, madam, sir, I am in this team already. How much do you pay? Let's start work. That's the thing. That is what you will be giving. Okay? So let's proceed. I think that is action. So finally, take charge of your 10 areas of today. Take charge of it today. There is 3 key points I want to start here that can help you take charge of your 10 areas of today. Number 1, be a mentor. You have 1 month of experience. There is someone that has 2 days of experience. Mentor that person. You have 3 years of experience. There is someone that has 1 year of experience. I don't know what to do. Mentor that person. You don't need to know everything to be a mentor. The more you mentor people, the more you do. Okay? And number 2, money should not be your key value. Money should not be your key value. Relationships should be your key value. And number 4, learn to work smart and not hard. This is logical. I never said you should be lazy. Learn to work smart and not hard. So thank you very much for listening to this. So I met him December, I think November, December. Yeah. So you don't think about David. Something happened. Brilliant engineer like this. Brilliant engineer. So something happened. He had an issue with his laptop. Right? And we had to get him a new laptop. So we did. And how many of you are in teams? How many of you work professionally in teams? Only 1 person. Only 2 people. Alright, but if you're working professionally, right, you would notice that you always want that pressure to deliver something. Even if you're working for yourself, there's always that pressure. And the people who manage that pressure in the development are called. Who said it? Yeah, I didn't problem manager. Aspiring. The aspiring to be a That's the truth. So, you know, when you have PMs, you have this meeting in the mornings called stand-ups. So stand-ups are very simple. You say what you did yesterday, what you're doing today, if you have anything of that. Is that familiar to everybody? Yes, no? Okay. Now, in the stand-up meeting, after we give them the new laptop, Monday, David, what are you doing today? David said, oh, I just bought, because he speaks very well, David was like, oh, I just bought a new laptop, you know, I'm still setting it up. You know, there's a lot of packages and stuff. I said, okay, that's fine. He said, it takes time. He said, Tuesday, David, what are you doing? I'm still setting it up. Because I was in TV, and then I had the product manager. So we now met at like this setup don't need too long. I said, don't worry. You know, David is very good. 2 days, 3 days, he's going to get it done. Don't worry. Next week, David is still setting up his laptop. David, what is going on now? David, how long did it take to set up that laptop?
In my head, it was like 2 months. I still tell the story to today. I don't know that it took forever able to set up the local environment. Now, the truth is, as developers, we have a lot of things to do, correct? Even if you're not a developer, if you're in tech, there's a lot to do. So as much as possible, you want to spend your time doing the right thing, right? And the right thing is what? What's the right thing? The right thing, right? The right thing is anything that makes you money, correct? The right thing is anything that makes you money, correct? Yes, now I don't want to be spending your time doing something that doesn't make you money. That is why the group of software that we call developer productivity tools are very useful. Daytona is an open source developer productivity tool. And who can guess what Daytona does? Who said that? What's your name, sir? Kingsley. Can you say it again? Say it louder, let me hear it. Correct. Right. Round of applause for him. So, you see that story I told about David, right? Sometimes setting up your development environment can be a pain. I'm serious. It can be something that should take maybe like 15, 30 minutes. You could end up doing it for a week. And not because you don't know what to do. Sometimes it could be the fault of the Mumu dev that wants to build the repository with very funny packages installed that are not compatible with what you're using locally, right? So that's the thing. So sometimes when you need some very funny code bases, it can take you a long time to set it up locally. Now, to simplify what Daytona does, I was very afraid that this will happen. This is not okay. Yeah? What? I feel I could have sworn that everyone was doing like this. Which direction? Let's come closer, like this. Okay, so the point is with Daytona. Alright, so this is it, right? So Daytona helps you to manage development environment. It allows you to set them up very quickly. So that same story I just told, if we're using Daytona within our team, it would never happen. What Daytona does more technically is it builds an abstraction layer on the tool called Docker. Do we know Docker? That yes is not very convincing. Do we know Docker? Yes. Do we know Docker? Yes. What is Docker? Yes. You said yes. Round of applause for that. Yes. Docker is a containerization tool, very simple. But it takes you a while to learn how to use Docker, correct? You know, I suggested using Docker to solve some of these issues once I knew that David had this challenge, right? But the other thing that was there was that when you saw the documentation, I was like, oh, this thing, it's a lot, right? So, that is the challenge that Daytona is solving, right? With Daytona, you don't have to worry about all the underlying complexities of managing your dev environment. And this is the key, whether local or remote. So if you want to set up a remote environment, maybe on an EC2 instance, this one is ready, that person is going to dance for us for like 30 seconds. Why does this always happen? Whenever I mention the word dance, the phone goes up. Maybe you want to secure 10 million naira contract because of dance now. Don't worry. It's all good. But do we get it? Do we get what Daytona does? Do we? Yes. Alright. So let me quickly, just give me like 2 minutes, please, because I use 5 minutes to take. So now we're actually getting to the meat of the discussion. 2 minutes. Now, there is a Slack group because there's a lot about it, and I can't condense it into 10 minutes, right? So, do we have this still? Do we have this still? Good. How many of us have GitHub accounts? If you don't have a GitHub account, I feel so sad. But how many of us have GitHub accounts for real? Let's read on. Now, if you have a GitHub account, what I want you to do very quickly is take that card and scan this QR code. The one that says star info on GitHub. Once you do that, we are going to give you what? This keychain. Do we like it? You don't need. You said you don't need. So if you start the repository, go get this keychain. Now on the other side of this is a Slack group, right? If you go to that Slack group, you will find, we're talking about networking here, right? Okay. So the founders of Daytona are there, they're waiting to connect with you, hear all your brilliant ideas. Daytona is also 100% open source, did I mention that? So there's a huge opportunity there, and I would like to talk about that another day. But for today, what I would like you to do is also join the Slack channel. I've dropped 2 talks there on the founder, Ivan. If anybody wants to talk to Ivan, let me know, I'll put you guys up. But join the Slack channel and also, get that experience, right? I thought somebody turned off my mic. Okay, it would have been better if you turned it off and increase the volume. That's all we get. Alright, so are we happy? Yes. Did you have fun? Yes. Alright, but did you learn something before I leave? Did you learn something? Yes. Who learned something? Simon said you learned. Simon said what did you learn? Wait. Alright, so round of applause for you guys. And then round of applause for me, otherwise I won't.
I feel like we're going to be really good for the future of Nigeria and also for the future of tech in Nigeria. When we came in first, I saw a lot of people who were like, what is going on? Is it the bypass that I'm doing? But speaking to people, I noticed that there are a lot of business-minded people here, a lot of developers here, a lot of people that have a lot of ideas to improve themselves and also build businesses. That gives me a lot of hope for the future, as I said before. So what I think is basically just something to empower your business. I know we are all developers, we are all designers, but let's not take away the fact that we are also businessmen and businesswomen. Because even though we are building applications, we are designing for our clients, we're also going to be collecting payments for those what we are doing for our clients. That makes us businessmen and businesswomen. And that's where a lot of people need. But just for you to be to collect money from your clients after you are doing your work. And definitely, if you are building the website for your clients, you're not going to do it for free. You need something to do to collect money from your clients for the work that you are doing. That's where a lot comes in. So, just like I said before, it's just a payment solution to empower your business and also empower developers. So basically, Alaska is just a payment gateway that allows you to collect money from your clients through different means. We allow payment via transfers, via cards, and also other payment methods. So why should you use Alaska? Because there are many people who have come up with to advertise their products. Also, there are also many payment gateways on the market today. So why should you as a developer use Alaska? So the first reason why you should use Alaska is our pricing. Alaska is actually by map, it's actually developed by map. So we have direct connections to the card schemes and we have direct connections to other banks. So we don't add a map up to our pricing. I know some of us are already familiar with the stack and Flutterwave. We know that most of them they have integration with the banks for their settlement and also for KPIs and plugins. And most of them come to us from our bank for their services. And when we apply for those partners services, we also add our own fees on the top. So when you're coming to Alaska directly, you have direct connections to the banks and also to the card schemes, that's MasterCard, Visa, and other platforms. So you're coming to alert me, you're just giving the basic price, we're now adding our extra fees to it. So first one is the fast and easy integration flow. So as a developer, as well as when you connect to payment into, you have to do web checkout integration for APIs. So Alert-based plugins are very easy to integrate and to connect to. There's no long integration with the accounts, you do different things. You just plug and play, just add the web checkout to your script and just it. It's very easy to work around. Because I know we all very like easy things, so that's very easy to integrate. So I've been understanding for best pricing in the industry. So Alert-Pay has the best pricing. Actually, I couldn't show the pricing here. You can compare it with other payment gateways. Let me just give you a brief about our pricing. For cards, we collect 1.2%. I don't know those are familiar with pricing for other payment gateways, but if you are familiar, you know that's like the best pricing in the industry right now. And our documentation is very easy to do that. And we also have a very dedicated customer support and clinical support also. Because you know that you're going to be integrating payment gateways to your partner's website and also to yourself. So we have dedicated support group that you can also speak from. We're always ready to support you. So next, okay, what about key features of that? We have a dedicated dashboard where you see all the money you have collected from customers. You can also see like a holistic view of everything you have collected and see, so you can analyze your business and see how your business is performing. All like our business is done, like everything. So let's move forward. So another is our flexible payment options. As I said before, we have different options that you can use to collect money. So we have card payments, transfers, and also we call business status. It's just top. Next slide, please. So also our advanced features, you can stay here. So we have advanced features that just separate us from other payment gateways in the industry. So like now our stock management. So can you go to that website I shared? One for the store. Okay. I said before, we allow arrested businesses. So let's say you sell clothes or you sell bags or you sell shoes. I most put some people here, they sell like shoes, bags. So you can just put a last name, you can upload your products. And when you upload your products, we give you a website that you can share to your customers. So they can come here, they can see all your products you're selling. They can order from here and they can go see that that they can check out. They don't need to call you that after send you a account number. So you can get now, they can even shop, even when they are sleeping, they can shop here and you get a notification in your email that somebody has ordered from you. Then you ship it to the person that ordered from you. So it's like a mini junior conga in your pocket that you can use to collect money from your customers and also collect orders and payment and money. So we can go back to this slide. So this is basically one of our major features, the stock from feature. But we know that even if you don't have a website, you can still need like an online presence where you collect money, money from your customers, and also to advertise your business. That's where the stock comes in. And the next one is the stock course. That's like a mobile POS. You know that most businesses are using like that normal POS terminals. What we are building now for our last phase is the POS on your phone. So instead of having to pay for that big POS machine, you can just take your phone and take your customer's card and tap it on your phone. And the customer gets it instead of having that big POS machine. So it's like a mobile POS machine that you can use to collect money from your customers. And also those static accounts. So when you sign up for the last pay, an account is generated for you that you can send to your customers to collect funds. And whatever funds you collect from your customers goes into that dashboard. You just sleep. So it's designed with the developers, and I know we are all back-end and front-end engineers. We need something very simple that you can easily plug into your client's website so you can easily collect payments. So that's why our work is something that's easy for developers, something that's easy for you to just integrate quickly, nothing too strenuous so that you have to go through various codes and implementations to integrate. So that's where that's where it comes in. So for next. Okay, detailed reporting. So we have a comprehensive dashboard that we use to analyze the transaction. And that is what I'm speaking of. So this is one of our main features. You can see the dashboard, you can see what the business has done, you can see your all-time earnings, you can see when you have received today, you know your customers, the number of transactions. So this just gives you like an analysis that you can see how your business is performing. You can see when you have received, you can see what you have received today, the customers and the number of transactions. So this allows me not just for big businesses, not just for online sites, also for you, also for you that sell bags, that sell spoons, anybody that does business that wants to collect payment. That's where that comes in. So let's do forward. So let's go back. We say, oh, we are here in Owerri now. We have customers in Lagos, in China, in Ghana. So a lot of is not just a local payment collection platform. You can collect payment from anywhere in the world. If you support multiple currency, you can collect in Naira, USD, yen, any currency in the world, any currency you want to collect. So next time you see our QR code for you to join our Slack community. So let's not just figure out our let's scan the QR code so you can join our Slack community. So let's figure out how to scan the QR code. So in this Slack community, you meet us with the technical support team. We can support you in information and also if you have any other questions you want to ask about the product. And also how we want to integrate with your customer service. I believe we all have clients that we do websites and most of them like the payment engine for them to collect from your website. That's where Elastic comes in, just plug in and play. When you join this type of community, we do also take our support and communicate with you and also support you if you have any questions or have any needs. Let's move to the next. Next. Okay, this is the site to sign up Elastic. I said before, we support both registered and unregistered businesses. So even if the business is registered or not registered, you can onboard and you can easily use the platform seamlessly. So, that's all for me. Thank you very much.
We're going to really like summarize, like I will be going into the details. I have 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes. We'll talk about how you get to the fundamentals, building skills, breaking into the industry, how you grow and evolve, and some of the challenges that you come across in the process. So having been a designer who has gone through this journey, right? I'm going to be like walking you through like the typical journey of a designer. So if you're looking to get started, or maybe already in the industry, this is your chance to like understand what it's like. So in learning the fundamentals, every industry requires you to learn the basics, right? You have to understand the basic fundamentals that make up whatever you're learning. Even in fashion, there are like theories, there are like laws and principles that back it up. So you want to start with learning the fundamentals, and in learning these fundamentals, you can also you can do that through YouTube courses, YouTube tutorials, normal search, even with ChatGPT, right? Because I use ChatGPT a lot. You want to look into the fundamentals because if you skip the fundamental, you're going to find it hard to actually understand why design decisions are made, right? And the first thing first, to understand the fundamentals. Please guys, let's keep it down. Start with understanding the fundamentals. And every designer at every stage, right, usually finds themselves playing around like different niches in the industry, right? So it's okay for you to actually try to understand the different areas in design, like icon, brand, animation, before you actually jump into it. Because you might jump into products and realize that you're not into all that strategy stuff. You just want to draw and make things look beautiful. And that's totally okay, right? So you want to also like experiment and explore, and then when you finally pick a niche, you get into building skills, right? Building skills and portfolio is like the second stage in this journey. First things first, you want to You want to consume resources. You want to consume resources on your chosen dish, right? You start with the learning process, learn the processes, keep practicing. If you've chosen this dish, you start learning the tools, right? The tools that you need to get on with it. So, for designers, I usually recommend working on complex projects, right? When you've gotten to a certain level of confidence, you know that, okay, I think I've learned this. You want to start working on projects, right? Work on a complex variety. If you're doing product design, don't just focus on mobile apps. You want to work on web apps, desktop apps. You want to work on the complex stuff, right? Because it's going to help you make it better. It's going to help you learn problem solving. And in this, you want to also look into freelance projects. You want to volunteer for projects. You want to see internship opportunities because at this stage, you're trying to build, like you're trying to build up your experience, you're trying to build up your skills, right? And in doing this, you need projects. You need projects to show for it because that's what you have in your portfolio. So portfolios and case studies. After learning your skill, after working on a project, you want to be able to showcase this. So as a designer, the portfolio and the case study is how we use it, right? So many of us find it hard because we tend to get to go on writing case studies, building portfolios. I'm not here to talk about that now, but key things to note are you want 3 to 4 solid case studies, right, at the minimum, with a variety of projects, like I mentioned. Except you want to only work in a specific niche, maybe as a mobile app designer, then you won't have only mobile apps. But it's important for you to work on a variety of projects, and case studies should tell stories. So many movies tend to get involved, see templated ways that other people do it, and you just want to copy it. But the case studies that stand out are the case studies that tell stories effectively. Like we have a lot about storytelling, right? So you want to research. I'm not here to tell you how to do it, but you have to research. See how you infuse storytelling into your case studies, right? And I recommend tools like Notion and Visha for newbies, like for new designers, people Behance to give you visibility. But if you've gotten to that advanced level, you want to take it up a notch. Try things like Webflow framework, because that actually gives you more leverage to be creative and show your personality more. So after building skills, building a portfolio, this is just the toughest part, breaking into the industry. How do you convince this person that you can do this? How do you start making money? Which is mostly the reason why we get into this tech scheme, why we get to learn this tech skills. Two things I'm going to highlight is networking and job hunting, right? So in networking, I actually recommend community events. You have this a lot, not to be questioned. It is when you meet people, it is when you connect with people. Starting out, I wouldn't have had an idea, even what design was about, right? I came into design through communities. I built a network, I know so many people in networks that referred me, right? That referred me to opportunities. So you want to network with people, right? If you're looking to break into the industry effectively, seek mentorship, reach out to people you admire. You're going to get rejections a lot, but it's fine. Develop an online presence, be visible. We learned a lot about visibility. I'm a very introverted person, but visibility has building my online presence was the deal breaker for me. Going to design, nobody was give me a chance. I just started posting my work. I put my work everywhere. So I started getting back-to-back clients. It doesn't happen immediately, it's a process, right? But you have to actually keep it in mind that sharing your work takes you a long way, right? In breaking into the industry, I've met a lot of people. Something for you to keep in mind. The second phase of breaking into the industry is no longer connections. Now you need opportunities. You want opportunities to pay. From building a portfolio, you need to craft a good resume, get people to review it, right? You feel like this is what you can do. Get people to review your resume, you have to apply to also as many jobs as possible. I think this is usually the hardest part because a lot of people reach out to me, I can't get offers. You have to not let it discourage you. Applications is a game of numbers, right? It's not about how good your applications is. You want to get into as many companies as possible. So apply to as many jobs and prepare for your design interviews. That means you research the company, you practice for your interview. And apart from like normal full-time job marketing, you can use things like Upwork, right? I spend like a few $1,000 on Upwork, even though it's not my favorite. You can use things like Upwork. You can freelance, you can send cold emails to founders, you can ask referrals, you can like keep posting your work, right? These are like some of the things that you can do to actually get opportunities. Like it's not rocket science. It's the consistency you put into it that actually gets you the opportunity. So you've built the skills, you've gotten the experience, it's now time for you to like start growing, evolving. I usually recommend to designers, no matter how good you think you are, you want to keep growing, you want to keep learning, right? That's like a superpower because the more you learn, the more you grow. You need to take feedback seriously. In your design skills, you need to take feedback seriously. Learn to give constructive feedback, right? It helps your critical thinking abilities. It helps you. Don't wait for formal reviews, ask for input from colleagues. And you're going to face challenges, right? There's no industry that doesn't have challenges. In your journey, you're going to have a lot of challenges. You're going to burn out, you're going to work in toxic places. I'm not wishing it on anyone, but like 4 out of 5 of us may have experienced it. So it's important to understand that it's part of the process, and you want to learn to handle the criticism, you want to learn to adapt to new tools and trends. And finally, in your journey, you get to a certain level, you just want to either diversify or specialize, and you start finding yourself in leadership or mentorship roles. Like in my current role, I get to like lead the design team, right? It's a process. It's a process that you go through from newbie. It could take you typically a year, it could take you typically 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but that's up to you. I'm rounding up. Okay. Okay, I think I just want to highlight this. I just want to answer a few questions because this is the most common questions I get on my LinkedIn DMs every day, right? So the potential earning capacity of a designer. As an intern, depending on where you work, depending on the company, you can find yourself earning around 50 to like 150K. Senior designer, I'm talking about Nigerian companies because I mean, foreign companies is a different ballgame, right? You can find yourself earning around 300 to like 600 as a big level. That's when you're around 2-3 years experience. And as a senior designer, you can be earning around 600,000 to like over $1 million. So without how you what are the chances I can get a job after 6 months? Chances are up to you because the way you learn is different from the way another person learns. The more time you can put into it, the faster you can get things going. If you get paid for a course, there are free courses on YouTube. You just need to get structure, get it down. And design is not oversaturated. It's like the most common phrase on Twitter. Design is not oversaturated. You just need to like really get the game on. You just need to like really learn the perspective. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it there. Well, I hope I've mentioned more.
Less than 10 minutes. Okay? So my name is Dr. David. I'm a machine learning research engineer. Everybody has come and has talked about artificial intelligence. People have said AI will take your job. People have said AI will not take your job. Whatever the argument is, eventually I'm an AI engineer. Alright? So a couple of things that I have to say. The question I have to ask today is very simple. Is artificial intelligence a white man? Someone said, alright, cool. Okay, so is artificial intelligence a white man? I've been in the software engineering system since 2016, and recently I've been doing a lot of research on computer vision. Why? Because we want a world where people who have visual impairments can move around, and your glasses explain to you what is going on around you, right? So you can walk around, you can have communication like usual, even though you can't see. That's my area of research. And during the course of my research, I found that some people have complained over time that when they are doing visual projects, when a computer can recognize your face, it does not pick your face because you are black. So if you have a white person on stage, it picks their face. If you have a Chinese person within the frame, it picks their face. If we come to you, who is black, like myself, it does not pick your face. And so the question is, why? Right? So I came to these two websites. One is run by OpenAI, and I started to do my own research. And I'll show you what I have. First of all, what is artificial intelligence? We know what it is already, right? Computers learning, understanding, speaking, listening, like humans do. Makes sense? And then we use this for facial recognition, employment, etc. Machines learn data, right? So we give computers data, they take that data, they study the patterns. Computers are like children. When you have a child, that child has to go to school. You pass down what you know to that child, and that child understands. Can anybody hear me? Yes. What I'm saying, does it make sense? Yes. All right, cool. Oh, okay. All right, so that's how machines learn. And so,
can we still hear me? Yes. All right, so my point is, if you wanted to teach the computer to know what a dog is, you have to give that computer thousands of images of dogs for it to recognize patterns and make that image a dog. It can be pictures, it can be videos, it can be whatever. But that's the idea. Alright? So when you have systems that don't recognize you because you're black, it means that the developers of that system did not factor your race into the development of that system. Right? I was going to show some slides. When you go to some of these websites that do a lot of generative work, and you type in generated a picture of African children, the main idea is that you're very likely to get a picture of children who are suffering. Next time, when you're using many generative AI models, writing your code, doing whatever research you do, when you come across models that offer some sort of bias in whatever way it is, right? Whether you're generating images, or you're generating voices, or you're generating visuals, when you see this bias and they exist in data that you're working with, the first thing that you want to do is to report that bias to the developer so that they can have it in mind and address it, right? The next thing that you want to do is try and be involved in how data is presented. If it's possible, grow your own data sets. Nigerians can grow their models. We grow our own models every year. That's what we do in AI. We develop models that can make predictions, right? So you can generate your own models and try to make sure that the models that you work with have data that is trained on as robust data sets as possible, so that everybody is included in what you do. And then finally, this is really important. I want to paint a picture here. Can I go ahead? Yes, sir. Can I go ahead? Yes, sir. So the year is 2048. We are old now, yeah? And because of all the noise we're making about SARS, the Nigerian government comes up and says, we are not going to do human police anymore. We are going to use robots. Right? Why? Because we believe that robots should be perfect in some sense. Does that make sense? So if we are not fair and if we don't know what to do with our data, we will get to a point sometime in 2048 when you're traveling on the road and the robot will stop you because it walked your head. Why? Because the data set that it was trained on has made it to believe that when you walk ahead, when you have your tattoos, you fit a certain category and should be treated as smoking, right? And these are the kinds of things that we want to avoid by including fence and machine learning. And that's all that I have to say for today. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to today's panel session. You all have made it today. Okay, so my name is Akwibe Chikire-Cherika, and I'm your panelist anchor for today. Are you all ready? Let's just go straight to the question. Since we have spent a lot of time on stage, okay? So my first question goes to David Oluwabusayo. Mr. David, okay? How important is it to build a skill before establishing a personal or professional brand? And what benefits comes from prioritizing skills first?
Okay, I believe everybody can hear me now. Hello? Is anybody from the state here? Okay. All right, my name is David Oluwabusayo. I'm the CTO at Paperless, and I'm a software engineer with a decade of experience. So, when you say building a skill before building brand, I'll just do a recap of what I've said earlier because of our time. I made an illustration the other time which if you give birth to a newborn baby, you can't let the baby cannot sit on the day one. It takes a gradual process, right? Why do you think we all start education from elementary? Why do we take it up from the higher institution? The educational systems, they do start from the primary, then secondary, then the university. That is when you try to get it up. But so when we're now relating it to building a skill, I said many of us belong to one group or the other, or one community or the other here, and we know a lot of people. When you get something or you see a post online on one of your friends' status that there's an opportunity somewhere or a gig or a job, right immediately some name keep popping up on your head. Why? Because you already see those people demonstrated their skills, their expertise in their field, right? Whereas you know the name of some people as well that you only know what they do because they tell you what they do, that they did do such a thing, not because you have seen them practicing it. So in such case, building a skill is just like when you say somebody want to become a bricklayer, just say, so we just put this block on each other and put cement and you start continuing like that. If you fail to build a skill and focus on building a brand, one of the problems is your brand might not be able to stand the test of time. You might find yourself in a model, and at the end of the day, when the challenges come, the way you rush it, the same way they push you out. So when you're talking about the advantages of building a skill before building a brand, like I said the other time, when you have a solid skill, you make it stand out in the industry, whichever sector, whichever niche you find yourself. When you have a solid skill, it makes you stand out. When you have a solid skill, it gives you a better or a higher chances of opportunity. When you have a solid skill, I think one of the speakers said it the other time when he was talking. He said you might have 7 years of experience, and somebody might have 3 years of experience, but based on their expertise, they might prefer somebody with 3 years of experience over somebody with 7 years of experience. Why? Because they have different skill ability. So when you have a solid skill behind yourself before building a brand, it gives you a greater opportunity, it gives you a better connection. Like when you meet some people, just tell them, oh, this is what I do. You know, when you go to some job interviews, the way you answer some questions, they ask the same question from 3 different people, but from the way they answer it, you can see they judge what they have, the level of their capacity, the level of their intelligence as well. So to summarize the notes, because we wasted a lot of time already, I would advise, don't just because of you want to build a brand and forget to build the fundamental skills. Because if you don't do that, when you try to push the brand out there, you might find it a problem later, regret it, and at the end of the day, what you are trying to spend most time on might fade out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. David, for that wonderful insight. Remember, build skills first, okay? So, to Mr. Johnson, okay? What key steps should developers take to transition from coding to securing investment? And how can they best position themselves to attract investors?
Good day, everybody. Yeah, so my name is Johnson, and I'm a VC analyst at the moment at Drone Collective. So, to your question, what key steps should founders or developers take from when? What was it then? Sorry.
Like, so what key steps should developers take from transition from coding to securing investments?
So what key steps should developers take from coding to securing investment? So I believe that in most cases, when questions like this come into like public discourse, what most persons tend to say, we tend to hear things like, oh, you need to like design your pitch deck, you need to send emails to like investors, you need to do this and you need to do that. But I believe that in most cases that they tend to like leave out a couple factors, which I'm going to explore out in my response, which is the framework I'm going to call the SDA framework, which is S stands for shape, D stands for demonstrate, A stands for attract, and or approach. So the first phase is to shape. I mean, we all know that first things first, nobody's going to like raise funding from just 1 million lines of code that's leaving your VS Code or whatever idea you're making use of, right? You need to get to a point where like you ship the project or the products you're building. That's like the most important step. So like I said, SDA, S for ship, SDA, S for ship, D for demonstrate, A for attract. So when you go to the first phase, which is like shipping your product or your project, right? There are a couple questions you need to ask yourself when you're shipping or in the process of shipping. 2 questions actually. I think the very first question is my solution solving a viable product in a large market, or is my solution solving a key problem in a large market? Once you have an answer to that question, you move on to asking yourself if the solution you have at the moment is the best solution you can produce to solve that particular problem, right? Once you have answers to this particular question, you definitely want to like ship your product or your project, right? And then in the process of shipping, right, you ship, let's say for example, you ship your product, you go on to demonstrate, right? Which is like, what the question now is, what are you demonstrating? You're demonstrating traction and you're demonstrating growth. 2 things. And there are different ways you can do that. You can do that in like spelling out different metrics that your startups have gone on to achieve along the way. Let's say your startup acquired like 1,000 users in a month, or you grew 10x over a particular period of time. That's what you're doing at that point in time, is that you're demonstrating the growth and the traction that your project or your startup has acquired within a particular period of time, right? But that's just like the numbers, right? And then numbers, is it numbers tell the whole story or numbers not tell the whole story? Numbers tell the whole story. But like I feel like intrinsically, right, another story that's been told is that what you're signaling to the general public or to investors by demonstrating traction and growth to the general public or to the investors themselves is that, oh, I found a problem that was worth solving, I have a solution to that problem, and I have people that are willing to use that particular, like use my solution to solve this problem. And if you are at a point where you start generating revenue as well, like we now talk about the fourth key thing, which is that, aside the fact that people are willing to use my solution to solve their problem, they are also willing to put in their money to pay for this particular solution and provide it to the general public, right? And then I feel like once you get to this point in time, like once you've demonstrated enough traction to the general public or to investors themselves, in most cases, you tend to like attract investors. What most people probably do not understand is that there are people who are being paid, like their day-to-day job is to look out for projects to invest in, right? And those are the ones that are like on the lookout for like projects that can impress them, projects that can show enough or demonstrate enough traction and growth that they can bring into their VC firms or like their co-investors, and then they get to like discuss that, okay, I found this startup that is doing this, they posted online that, they already have like this amount of users, this amount of revenue and all of those, and then I feel like we should look into this startup. That's where, like what I said, like the A part of the framework is to attract. They themselves, they notice you, and then they probably can now come around and say, oh hi, I discovered that you're doing so and so, right? Can we speak? You understand? But like, the thing is that what most founders themselves don't really do is that they miss the second part of the framework, which is like demonstrating traction or rather demonstrating growth, which is why in most cases they don't get like attract investors themselves. So what they do is like they tend to like approach investors. You understand? So like if you don't attract, in most cases you have to approach them themselves, which is where you now start talking about what I said in the first place, like designing your pitch deck and doing all of those and sending like cold emails to investors and all of that. But if things are being done right from the very beginning and the right questions are being asked, I mean, at the end of the day, you end up like attracting investors. So that's it. So thank you.
Thank you, Johnson. Okay, so my next question is to Shoma. Okay, so how can businesses effectively leverage social media data and SEO strategies to enhance digital market intelligence and drive growth decisions? Okay, good evening everyone. Can you hear me? I'm not getting the energy. Can you hear me? Okay, first of all, I really want to appreciate you for staying this long, even with the power outage. You all are the real MVPs. So well done. Okay, so to answer my question, how you can use social media data, right, and SEO strategies to market intelligence, right? So first of all, I want to elaborate on what digital market intelligence is. You know, if you're on social media, if you have a business, a brand, whatever, you probably have a social media account or you have a website. Either ways, you're using it to connect to your audience who are your potential customers, right? So now, starting off your business, you might start off with research to know your ideal audience, to know the people you're selling with. But let's give you 3 months. After 3 months, real people should be interacting with your brand. Even if your traffic is not much, you should have real people interacting with you. Now, after 3 months of your brand being out there, you should not be guessing anymore. You should be using your social data. You should be using information from either your website or your social media to know what you do next to improve your brand or to get more audience or to sell more. That's what digital market intelligence does for you. You're analyzing your data to know exactly how people out there perceive your brand, the word they use to search for you, that's like your keywords, where they look for you more, is it on your social media or your website like Google. So you know exactly what you're doing, either how you're going to change your content to speak to them. At this junction, you're checking how people interact with your brand to know exactly their pain. So you meet them at their pain points. One example I will use is, I don't know if you can remember the time of Coca-Cola. There's a day Coca-Cola had names on the bottle. Yeah? They listened to what their audience wants. They changed their branding at that point. And each Coca-Cola bottle carried a name like Chioma. It carried Njideka. People were excited about it. They wanted to buy Coke. You wanted to see your name on vocabulary bottle. The more excitement people got, the more they listen. That digital market intelligence. You're now listening to what your audience and how they are relating to your brand, how excited they are. And the more they change the name, Bolaji, this, that, everybody is just looking for their name. And then in non table, you know, friend like no other. Or people want them to see sister like no other, mother like no other. That's what digital market intelligence does for you. You go out there, you listen to what your audience wants from you, you come back with this data, you diffuse it, you change your branding, you change your strategy. Even when you're writing blog, you know exactly the topic you're talking about at the moment. When you're going on social media, you know the hashtag they are using at the moment. Hashtag sister like no other, hashtag friend like no other. That kind of stuff. That way, you're informing your brand decision, right? To capture more audience, to drive more sales, to get more customers. That's basically what it does. You attack it from your social media side, and then you go to your SEO site, which is your website, to drive more traffic. You come from both your website and your social media. Both ways, you're building your brand. That's digital market intelligence. I hope I communicated. Yes, you did. Thank you so much, Shama, for that wonderful insight. And my next question is to Alfred Divine. Okay, so Divine, what are the first crucial steps for entrepreneurs to take when starting a new startup? And how can they set the foundation for long-term success?
Okay, thank you so much. Hope you guys can hear me.
Yes.
My name is Alfred Divine, co-founder and CEO of Result Tech Limited. So, about the question, what are the first crucial steps entrepreneurs need to take before they can start new startups? So, the first, I would like to start by saying that every great company or startup or anything great that you see today reflects the character of the founders, those who lay the foundation. So, for you to be able to start anything new, so far as startup is concerned, you have to first of all invest in yourself. You have to be someone that is obsessed, passionate, hardworking, ready to put something before you, ready to risk, ready to motivate others, ready to inspire people, ready to convince people that yes, I'm competent, I can do this. Without that, people won't be able to follow you. So you have to first of all train yourself, and then know that you can do this and do it well. Then once you are able to conquer yourself, know more about yourself, your limits, go beyond your limits, have a top skill, and then you'll be able to build with your team, transfer the same character, the same attribute that you have to your team. And by so doing, you'll be able to create a team of people who are stronger, people who can work for you, people who can stand and do something great. So by so doing, you people tend to create a culture that people outside, once they hear about your startup or anything that you guys are doing, they'll be able to say, oh, this is a team of great people. Once I'm inside this team, I'll be able to scale, I'll be able to improve, I'll be able to do more than I normally do. So by so doing, you create a culture. And by creating that culture, anyone that enters or joins your team is assured that they are going to level up. And if they don't want to level up, they will leave. They are by creating and building people who are stronger and a team and a startup that will scale far and last long. For example, we know about Boy Company. Recently, their products are not as good as they were before. So each and everyone that knows about the company before always reflects back to how they were before because of the foundation and the character that the founders built. Now the foundation and the character and is no longer there. So the company starts to misbehave and start using products that are not as top notch as it was before. So for you to be able to create a startup or do something that will be able to last, you have to face someone that is competent, someone that is ready to risk, and then build team that are ready to do and behave as you are. And by showing you to create a culture of excellence, a culture that lasts, and a culture that will go far in life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Divine. So my last question goes to Mr. Innocent Okachukwu. Omachukwu, sorry. Sorry for the mix-up. So it goes to Mr. Innocent Onachukwu. What unique challenges do tech founders face when building and scaling a startup in Owerri, and how can they overcome these obstacles?
Okay. Probably of every one that has spoken today, so maybe I see myself like an outlier. Probably I'm the only non-tech person in the building. Yes, I actually learned how to do some years back. And there is a specific problem with it because I'm very deep-rooted in the ecosystem, startup ecosystem here in Owerri. And I was trying to build something for 2 years. And in the entire Owerri, I couldn't get 2 or 3 persons who would code that didn't want a salary or that didn't want to build a loan, that didn't want to go solo and be the CEO or whatever. Maybe they didn't want to answer co-founder, they wanted founder. And this is the particular challenge that we have here in Owerri. The issue is everybody is building in silos. I mean, GDG, the WhatsApp group for GDG, the WhatsApp group for Owerri Tech is probably one of the oldest WhatsApp group, dev communities that we have. I joined that group very recently. I'm very new in the ecosystem, so learning a lot about tech. So it amazes me when I join these groups to see that we have thousands of amazing guys gathered as communities in different WhatsApp groups, different meetings, different stuffs. And yet, Owerri has really not found a way to get one startup out there that has been able to scale, attract, or if it happened, I'm not aware, if it happened, there will not be this in Owerri. So it's not just about startup founder, because startup founder is just one arm of the ecosystem. And I think that's one of the problems that we are getting wrong in a way. Like, if you look at this, the competition of this room right now, especially people home in a way, you see that what we have in the hall are just tech guys. So the thinking is that building a startup that can scale is about knowing how to code. And that's the issue. And this is the question I normally ask when I see top guys in the industry. And I'm asking, why do we have 5,000 people in Owerri Tech Group? You know, sometimes people are building amazing stuff. People have amazing skills. And I'm like, why can't 5 guys, 10 guys come together and build something? There are lots of problems in Owerri. Why can't 5 guys come together and build? And the real problem is everybody is building in silos. And because everybody is building in silos, I think one of the speakers made that clear. Everybody is building in silos. And then another problem that I see that we have, if you also look at the way the whole discussion has gone, you see that a lot of discussion are going like 80% building this career and taking the job path. I think that's also one of the issues that we are having, as that's like the only path to wealth through this tech career.
Not worry. I started my career as a teacher, so I'm blessed in very levels. So these are the 2 major challenges that we have in Owerri. The mindset that the only path to wealth in this tech career is through the job route. And then everybody that even takes the startup route is building in silos. Everybody wants to be the CEO, everybody wants to be the loan ranger. And it's specific that it's not about tech skills. Tech skills are not like that. You can gather a lot of people and build whatever you want to do. I've interacted with a lot of people great stuff, they couldn't scale. Because building something that scales is beyond putting code together. If it's about putting code together, I mean, look at this. We should have like 10,000 startups in the way, popping up everywhere. We will need management skills in the team. We will need technology innovators in the team. We will need marketers in the team. So we find that in a way we have the devs in one WhatsApp group. We have the digital marketers in one WhatsApp group. We have these guys, the UI UX, in one WhatsApp group. And everybody is building the silos. And we cannot come together to build something new. These guys, I've seen guys who are doing amazing stuff. And then I'm passing them through the first process of bootstrapping a startup. And the guy has no idea. All he knows is that he can put code together and he can do stuff. But it's not addressing the problem. Or you see one that is actually good. The guy has zero idea of marketing. And that's the problem. We are putting the silos in the way. We need to put these communities together. We need to have a team, one marketer, one developer, one come together to build this stuff. And that is how we move. That's how we're going to make movements in a way. And then to address the second problem. The second problem is everybody is thinking that the only route to well, because at the end of the day, it's not about coding. It's not about coding actually. I mean, everybody wants to make a living, make a life for themselves. So it's not even about coding. And tech is just one of the aspects. That will make it's not the tech person. It's not the life of the tech person. So there are other routes, and I think that's the route that is always being least emphasized. Or we are living out the thing that there's some super good stuff. So now everybody in this room, the job route is a pyramid. That's the issue. And we should understand that. And it's not just in the tech field. It's a pyramid. The job route is a pyramid. And everybody must understand that are starting on. So that you open up your mind. Because at the end of the day, some people, formal infrastructure will not allow you to put what the grind you need to build enough skill to get the kind of skill at the level that you want. But I tell you, everybody in this room can build something. Everybody in this room can build something, including you who is working for, say, another person. So I need you to open up your mind. And one of the wonderful things about following this type of route is that you don't need to learn crazy technologies like Go, React, whatever. You actually build something. I have something I built as a pet project. We just play HTML, and I'm actually making money from this. So the job app is something I want everyone to also put into their coffers. That actually expands your route. Because at the end of the day, everybody here is just looking for one of few openings. And they're going to select the best, or who probably is best, or probably the person that comes up putting out what they want. So I'm a proponent of look at the startup route. And it looks so hard because we are building in silos. So as somebody who is still in the ecosystem, which is why I'm really here, because I'm tired of the talks. Every year we come here, we talk. I want a way to build something. I want a way on the map building something. I want the next that comes up to build. Something great, or one of the startup routes, please meet me. I'll be here all the time until everybody gets exhausted. Meet me, let's work together and let's work with you to do something great for you.